right, what do you got?
I think I can prove to a judge that both of these men had the mens rea.
What the hell is a mens rea?
It's a legal term the lawyers use. It just means the intention to commit a crime.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Mens rea?
Put the cuffs on him.
How could we have gotten mens rea? We take blood? Can you do it without taking blood? We both use condoms. How is this possible? I want to see a doctor. Can I have an independent blood test?
Money!
I feel sick.
What are you doing?
Mens rea! Oh! Oh! My God!
OJ Simpson kills those two people so hard, they stop making the Ford Bronco.
Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are we doing? How's everybody, wherever you are, whatever time it is, and all that other stuff I usually say, but I got sidetracked and I forgot where I was in my little monologue. No reason for being 5 minutes late other than I just was messing around doing other things and clearly disrespecting all of you.
It was totally my
to anybody
fault.
that it has absolutely nothing to do with you. I won't let you take the fall for me just doing things.
You won't let me take the credit.
Well, if you're tuning in here and you just want to get straight into the OJ part of this deal, skip ahead about 10 minutes. We're going to do a bunch of housekeeping stuff, background stuff. We've been doing some serious topics for the last several days, so we've got to catch up on shenanigans. First of all, the like and subscribe poll is up. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Do all that subscribey, YouTubey stuff. Then go over here and take our poll, another lame poll, which we always do, just to remind you to hit the like and subscribe button because I clearly don't mention that enough. Why did you smash the like and subscribe button? Because I know you did. So OJ doesn't stab me. Just killing time to F it Friday. I don't funging know. And because of Chandler, not Halderson. Those are our choices today.
I did not kill my parents.
Chandler,
allegedly.
yes, not Halderson. Hi, welcome. Always impressed that you can wake up that early. You wake up about the time I go to sleep.
Hello.
It's always impressive.
Whew.
Let's see other things. Subscribe, like. We already got through that. Just had to do it again. Today we got OJ. Tomorrow is the day you don't want to miss. Tomorrow is F It Friday. That is the pinnacle of the month. That's our griftathon. That's our super amazing day. And we are going to have so damn much fun because we always do. If there's just one thing you don't want to miss, it's F It Friday. And you want to make sure that you bring all of your coins that you've saved up from skipping a few cups of coffee and a couple of pack of cigarettes during the month to throw at me. Bring all that stuff and throw it at me, because I do shots for money and we entertain you with guests. And then at some point I become the entertainment because I'm a liquored up fool. But so far, here is the guest list that we have. This tells you what's going to be happening on F It Friday. Steph, the altar nerd, is going to be here. Steph is great. Danny on direct, of course. Can't do it F It Friday without my ride or die Danny on. Real Drex will be here. House of Flux in the house. She's going to be here. We can't do it without Flux either. Flux is my number 2. She's my second. We do it in order of arrival in my life. Little Miss Jacob, Ari Jacob is going to be here. Nicholas Starov will be here. Camelot's going to be in the house. And for those of you that are on the Camelot bandwagon, I will be on Camelot stream on Saturday evening. So I'll be on Camelcast. Fight Milk will make its appearance, I hope. That's
God.
where we are. Camelot. I'll be on Camelot stream. Camelot's going to be on my stream. Potentially Criminal Sean will be here on Friday. Ian, Runkle of the Bailey, will most likely be here. Natalie Wisco said she's going to be showing up. Meme Copium from Japan will be here. Legal Mindset Andrew's going to pop in for a bit. Kaiser Pineapple, our very own Kaiser Pineapple, will be here. Valhalla Awaits will be here. And the number 3 ride or die, Chandler Remington, has said she's going to make an appearance.
Oh, yes.
And we'll see who else shows up. We have a possible Andrew Branca, who's going to be on the road. Should be back to his hotel by the time we start, he said. And a few other people haven't heard one way or the other on Nick yet, but he usually tries to pop in before he does his Friday night show. So we have a huge lineup, and those are just the people that have that have said yes, the people that have asked to be on. There'll be others as people. It's usually very, very front loaded because people want to get in, do their thing, and go to sleep. So people like Chandler and people like we encourage the left coast to come in a little bit later so that all the people on the East Coast can do their thing and go home, and I'm not just standing here all by myself, a little, all alone and sad for the last 5 hours of my miserable stream. But the rules are going to be a little bit different this week for F-It Friday, for this month's F-It Friday. Before it was $100 shots or an aggregate of $100. And for the $100 shots, I do a top tier whiskey. And for the aggregate $100, I would do a lowercase, like I'm an alphabet. I'm part of the alphabet crew. Woo! The lowercase crew. Yeah, so I would do a lower quality whiskey for the aggregate. But what we're going to do is we're going to mix it up this time. This time we're going to be doing $200 shots because $100 shots are killing me, quite frankly. The shot value is going up to $200, but it's all going to be from one whiskey. The 99-cent stickers are just as valuable as far as the whiskey selection goes as a $500 theoretical super chat would go. So $200 shots or aggregates of $200 is going to be this amazing bourbon here. This is one of the reasons I'm happy with the change we're making to this, because at the $100 a shot, I could only do 40% alcohol whiskeys, because anything more than that and I would die. So it always had to be 40%, just the bottom minimum. And you can't get a lot of bourbons for that. There's a lot of super high proof bourbons that are amazing that I just couldn't do. So with the increase of the cap and spreading it out amongst everybody, we got this Master's Keep from Wild Turkey 17-year aged bourbon.
Ooh la la.
A delicious 50% alcohol. Yeah. And it is in this gorgeous bottle. This is just a fantastic bottle.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
There's not many bourbons that are aged this old. This is a fantastic whiskey that I've been waiting to drink for quite some time, and now I had the excuse to buy it. So we did it. That's what we're going to be doing. $200, whether it's a one shot or an aggregate of $200, we're going to be doing shots of 50%. So the money level is increasing, but also the proof whiskey is increasing. So it balances itself out a little bit. It allows us to explore more things and allows me not to die. Because quite frankly, after 35 shots last time, it took me until Tuesday to really be normal again. So I hope you all understand the whole point of F-It Friday and appreciate that I'm trying to save my liver. Because I will admit last month was pretty rough. So that's what we're going to be doing on Friday, the F-It Friday, the $200 shots of Wild Turkey, 17-year aged bourbon. That is so good.
Nice.
Delish. And there's several things I really want to explore. What if we want you to die, though, John Gordon? Well, then who would entertain you? Who would you have to be contrarian to? Who would you have to troll?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. We'll have a lot of fun, and of course, Dog Cam will start instantly, basically with the first few shots, the first few super chats that come in, or super stickers or whatever. So that's what we're going to be doing. Today's OJ. Tomorrow is the F-It Friday. We'll be doing that on Friday evening, and Saturday evening, if you want to go over to Camelot's channel, I'll be on Camelcast. Then we'll be back with Maritime Monday on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, I have no idea yet, but there's no shortage of things to talk about. So there we go. Yeah, Nick is a maybe. I said, haven't heard back from Nick yet. He's always got to be checking his schedule because he's an incredibly busy human being, but he always tries to stop in for a little bit before because he does his Friday night show too. So he tries to stop in a little bit before then. So that's what we're going to be doing, and welcome everybody for doing it. And I told everybody to come back in about 10 minutes, But there's only one more thing we got to get out of here. We got to get done before we get right into OJ. I didn't want to do two more things. We got to update dog cam here in a second. But dog cam is one which I didn't really feel like doing. I thought it was like inappropriate to do it during the last 2 days when we had Zachariah Anderson's brother and sister on. And also I didn't want to do the other little bit of grifting that has now become a grifty thing, which is this: law cards. If you haven't heard of law cards yet, what is wrong with you? You need to go immediately to getlawcards.com. Getlawcards.com and get law cards. But don't just go to getlawcards.com. Go to getlawcards.com/vices. That's me. That gets you these amazing deals that are set out. And so what are law cards? Well, let's hear from the creator and other creators as exactly what these law cards are.
Along with a brief bio.
This killer video.
This is law cards.
Law cards.
Law cards. Introducing law cards.
That's Farmhand Tom. He's awesome. I love Farmhand Tom very much.
He's great.
The trading cards featuring your favorite law streamers, from Nick Rekieta's Law Splaining to Steve Gosney's Rumble streams to Andrew Bronca's famous Bronca Burn.
My friend here is a
Each
baseball
law
card.
Features a high
So are you.
Features a high quality photo or illustration of the streamer, along with a brief bio. And
we've got this handsome son of a bitch right here.
Bronca's Show Your Face to Steve Gosney getting white girl trap. Law cards are like funny moments in the last year to fund our Kickstarter campaign.
Did you ever imagine that this is what you'd be doing? Oh, that my stupid face drinking a bunch of whiskey would be manifested onto a card?
Expected to ship in April 2023.
Getlawcards.com/vices.
That's what we want. We want the lawcards.com/vices. So what are they? They're trading cards. They are actually built on the same card stock as all of the baseball cards, the basketball cards, the Pokemon cards, the Magic cards, all on that amazingly professional stock, thick stock paper. There's front and back sides. Like we got the Camelot here with the fight milk on the front, and then on the back it's got the ingredients for fight milk, and they all have QR codes. You click the QR code and that will actually take you to the episode that is referenced on the card. Farmhand Tom has put a ton of work into these things. So for example, if you take this handsome guy right here, this is the F It Friday. Hey, that's very topical and timely. Legal Vices stream here. You go here and this is going to watch a clip from an F It Friday. It's a great thing you want to do. And there's going to be some signed cards. There's some cards coming on the way for me to sign. And they're going to be randomly, there's packages where you can buy signed cards. And then there's other packages where they're just going to put in a random signature card from LawTubers. So if you go over here to lawcards.com/vices, you go to buy, and it's got all of these different options. What's included. They're, I think, $5 a pack, I believe is what he said. And you can buy the different pack sets, and they're mailed right to you. Shipping is going to be happening very, very soon on these. The Kickstarter's over. This is the support stuff, and they're going to keep rolling out. And rumor has it that there's going to be an entire pack of these cards devoted to yours truly at some point in the near future. So you can get all of your Legal Vices cards needs by going to lawcards.com. And again, this is it's a gag gift. It's something just for the hell of it. And I've already ordered myself an entire set of these cards just because it's something fun. It's something to remember what we're doing here. So enjoy that. It makes great stocking stuffers. I don't know what the hell you'll do with them. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with mine, but I sure as hell not going to not buy them either. So
I love them.
That's me. If that's something you want to do, go check them out. It's all in fun. It's just it'd make a great white elephant gift for someone for the next party you're stuck at. Just do it. If that's something you want to do. If not, who cares? But lawcards.com/vices. That'll take you right there. And, the /vices, it doesn't necessarily get you a discount, but it does get tallied to me, and I'm not even sure what I get out of it yet. So it's all in fun and it's all a great time. So that's the last grifty thing we needed to get out of the way today. Lawcards.com/vices, just for shenanigans and giggles.
Those are so much fun. I like them a lot. I want some.
Oh yeah, they're really great. The ones that I've seen are really, really fun. They're all hilarious. And I think once I get mine, I will scan them and maybe use them for like a green screen background or something. We'll see how it goes. So, all right, we're 15 minutes in. It's time to get to OJ. For the first time in a long time, we don't have any time constraints, so we can kind of chill and give it the time that this ridiculous thing deserves. Yes. Anything else before we get going, Chandler?
Anything else? I am going to be putting up a video tomorrow entitled Why I'm Not a Feminist Anymore. So look forward to seeing that on my channel. Hopefully it'll be up before the F It Friday stream.
Awesome. And yeah, there will be no stream at this time tomorrow. I'll be enjoying a quiet evening out, going through my preparations for the F It Friday stream, which for you is all going to start at 8 p.m. on Friday night, which is a great time to start drinking. Me, I'm going to start pounding shots of 50% 17-year wild turkey bourbon at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So yeah, I need to prepare for that. I need to get a lot of sleep. I need to do some things, and need to prepare my giant amount of carbs to stuff in my face as soon as I wake up. Got my stuff for my charcuterie all lined up and ready to go, so I can eat my carbs and meat whilst sipping on bourbon. All right, now the last thing to get out of the way is the super chats that are backed up so far. Where are the super chats that are backed up so far? Okay. We have Marv White, Dog Cam. $5 for the Dog Cam. Thank you so much, Marv White. Nicholas Starr of Union Rep, Labor Law, participant in the F It Friday coming up. If our Viking saying hi isn't in the next edition, I'm going to get woke offended. No. Just stop into Farmhand Tom and say hi. That'll take care of it. Sucks. Number 2, I'm forever the middle child. Hey, I'm there. Middle child's forever. Like I said, I takes them in the order and gets them.
Only child, so.
Yeah, see, just because you're number 2, or in Chandler's case, number 3, doesn't mean that's where you're ranked. It just means the order of appearance. I treat all my ride or dies equally. And especially because they're all like super hot. Even though,
You do have some hot guests appearing tomorrow. I mean, all of your friends are like really good looking, so hey. I mean, it does not hurt to have hot friends.
Got to make myself look ugly, That's why I was trying to hang around with people that are fatter than me, because it makes me look thin.
That's a smart thing to do.
Or with like other thin people online, and I kind of tuck the shoulders in. So, anyway. Flux. Mocha Dick Poon XOXO fully adjustable free. Zachary is getting longer and bigger. That's what she said.
Hey, phrasing.
Degenerates assemble, says Chaos Coordinator. We are assembled. Baldo. We need to start working on the Vibraldo now that that's an option.
Is it?
If you haven't seen that,
I have not. Yeah, I have not looked. I have to take a look.
There is a new utensil they called the Vibraldo, which is exactly what it sounds like, and we're not going to talk about that anymore.
All right.
Jillian N. I'm having dog cam with withdrawal. I must be hungry, because the first time I read this, I thought it said I'm having corn dog withdrawal. Like, me too. I'm having dog cam withdrawal. It was appropriate to leave them out of the last 2 days. Now I'm looking forward to having them back. That's I think we're all caught up here, and we have Elevens as a new member of the Clean and Sober crew. Welcome, Elevens. We're great to have you here. Daily Quick Bite says Doug Conda forever. And we do have Easter coming up. Cool. Kaiser Pineapple, appreciate the compliment.
Okay, Kaiser. I was on his stream last night. We did a movie thing last night. It was really fun.
Yeah, well, he invited me to be on Mighty Meat's thing, but I had a meeting that finished apparently like 20 minutes after they did. So
that's good.
Nicholas Starr says, I'm fluffy. All right. We are caught up. Haven't had a good corn dog in ages. Korean corn dogs are the freaking bomb. They just call them hot dogs here. But their corn dogs are absolutely off the hook, the bomb here. They just take the hot dog, they batter it once and deep fry it. Then they batter it and deep fry it again. So it's like a double battered corn dog. And then they roll it in sugar and then put ketchup all over it.
I don't know about that.
So good.
But it doesn't
so good.
It doesn't sound terrible. I don't know how I feel about ketchup, but I would try it. I would definitely, if I came to Korea and hung out, I would definitely.
How do you not
eat
have
one
a
of
corn
those.
dog with ketchup?
Well, I just don't like ketchup. But I mean, I don't hate ketchup. I just prefer other.
Bye. Yeah, she doesn't like ketchup. She's not welcome here anymore. All
I'm
right.
sorry. I prefer my corn dogs with mustard. So sue me. Oh my god.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's usually it's both. But also they'll do things to them like when they batter them for the second time, they'll like roll them in French fries or
Well, that sounds really good. I would totally eat
just,
that.
like,
You didn't mention the French
put
fries.
things on them. Yeah, across the street from my office is a shop that sells 12 different kinds of corn dogs. I mean, it was like stuffed with mozzarella cheese, ones that are like stuffed with cheddar cheese. Koreans know how to do corn dogs, but enough of this corn dog. Yeah.
How is America lagging on the deep fried treats? I'm like, wow, America, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, catch up.
The people that I'm just assuming that Americans invented corn dog because it involves deep frying something that's essentially just a big thing of fat. So I'm assuming that that we did that. But yeah. Using ketchup supports John Kerry.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Just don't use Heinz. You use any of the other ketchups that are out there. All right. I can't think of any other ways to stall this conversation, so let's get on with our lovely. Oh, we didn't change it. Okay, now we got to change it again. Chaos coordinator says, die, Jeff's liver. Free doggos, where's my whiskey? Hi, bye, Viking. Fung it, Baldo Collective, IDGAF. All right, let's start the video. Then I'll adjust doggo cam. I need to make sure we get these in the right order. And they are in the right order. So let's do this. And if we remember where we were last time, and unfortunately, I know I'm an idiot, and that is not the right timestamp. We need to go back about to the 1 hour mark-ish. Dennis Fung was being cross-examined, which he's been being cross-examined for like the last 3 months on this channel, about these things where he couldn't remember the order he did things in. So he said he did them in one particular order. And Barry Schcheck says, "Are you sure?" Yes. "Are you absolutely sure you didn't do it the other way? Are you positive you didn't do it the other way?" And he said, yes. And he said, "Okay, well, let's show you where you did it the other way." And then he wanted to bring in some video about the detectives and Fung at the crime scene. And then we got into this battle of whether or not to let all of these videos in, because Marsha was throwing a little hissy fit, like, we haven't seen this video. It's like, you gave us the damn video, come on. And then, well, you didn't tell us you were going to use it. And Ito's like, "Are you going to use more videos?" "Oh yeah, we're going to use more videos." So what we've got for about the next hour here is an argument with the lawyers about whether or not to let various videos in. That's catch up, so to speak. See what I did there? Sorry, martini.
Oh no, I love it. I love dad jokes. I'm a big fan of dad jokes. I told a really bad dad joke last night on Kaiser's channel. I can't remember what it was though, but it was definitely daddish.
Okay. All right, let's go, Mr. Schcheck.
I know exactly what the witness says with respect to these tapes and which segment is first and which segment is second. I won't be able to proceed to the very end because it's dependent on his answers.
All right, Mr. Goldberg, does that sound acceptable to you? You have some opportunity to review the tapes, compare them with what you have.
Now they're going to be arguing about whether or not to let these tapes
Fung.
in.
That sounds like it would be acceptable, Your Honor. Let's have a moment.
They're having a moment.
It's not like I don't have other things to do this afternoon.
I'm sorry,
Your Honor,
Judge. Are we
there
inconveniencing
are a couple
you?
other legal issues that I did
Spicy
want an
Edo.
opportunity to address. One was as to the tape that I just mentioned, and the other was as to the phenolphthalein issue, which I think needs to be revisited in light of the cross-examination. I don't know whether the court would like to do that now or at some later point.
All right, my inclination would be to recess as far as the jury is concerned right now.
And hash it
Come
out.
back in 15 minutes and discuss these other legal issues, and then commence our other hearing. At 4 o'clock. And I anticipate being in session till about 6 on that. So we still have a full day ahead of us.
May I make one quick request that may save some time?
Sure.
May I ask permission to bring the witness back before we break and simply inquire of him without showing him any tapes, just through verbal description, if he recalls the events and which happened first?
All right.
We already tried that.
Without the display of the videotape. All right.
Well, if he's telling the truth, it should be pretty
Today, and I was
easy.
hoping to finish Mr. Fung this afternoon.
Yeah, Judge, you ain't finishing Fung this afternoon.
Yeah,
You
we're
still got
still-
another 5, and he's so optimistic. He's been saying this since the previous day in court. You have the morning. I thought we were gonna be finished by morning. Okay, wrap it up today. All right, you have until the morning today, and now he's going, all right, let's wrap it up today. He is so optimistic. At some point, he's just going to give up and go, all right, just let me know when you're done.
Oh, Lance Ito, my sweet summer child, you have no idea what you're in for. Oh,
Man, those 80s glasses.
love it.
Please remember all my admonitions to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves. Don't form any opinions about the case. Do not allow anybody to communicate with you. Do not conduct any deliberations till the matter has been submitted to you. And I know you have some activities for the evening, so I'm sure you're not too unhappy to get started earlier today. All right, we'll stand in recess as far as the jury is concerned until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we will, as soon as the jury has been excused, we'll take up some of the other legal issues we need to discuss. And then we'll start our 4 o'clock session at 4 o'clock. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Back on the record in the Simpson matter. Mr. Goldberg, you wanted to raise an issue regarding phenolphthalein testing.
Okay, this isn't a bait and switch, and I do have a mea culpa before we get going, but this was my bad. So I said apparently $30 left for dog cam. This should cover it. Pastor Flash, thank you so much for that. It doesn't actually cover it because it switched on me. It used to be my little tally here in YouTube Studio used to be in dollars, but now it's in Korean won. So it's still about $30 short, but hey, it was my fault. It was, and it's me, this is just a fun shenanigan-y sort of thing. So, that was my fault. That was my problem. And you all want to see the dogs, and you all did a good faith thing. So give me a second to set it up here, and we'll turn it on in a bit as soon as I get it worked out. Until then, let's hear about these guys arguing.
Yes, Your Honor. I thought the court had ruled that phenolphthalein was not going to be admissible. And then it became my understanding perhaps the court had ruled that positive tests were not admissible, but negative tests were.
That's correct.
The defense has now clearly introduced a positive phenolphthalein test without any prior approaching of Your Honor and trying to get a modification or clarification of the court's ruling, and it seems to be clearly in violation of what the court's ruling was. Aside from that, we also have the issue of the court having said that
there is a dog
in
here
terms of the
somewhere.
phenolphthalein ruling, that you would not allow the defense in any way to place before the jury information or evidence that would be misleading in terms of negative results in certain locations, creating the inference that there was no blood in those locations. The defense put in evidence that there was a negative reaction in the sink drain or sink trap. And we know that, of course, we have a positive phenolphthalein test in the
Well, they're arguing about phenolphthalein. I'll be right back.
This clearly, without any doubt, creates an entirely erroneous picture. Because it's almost as if you're telling the jury that this little spot over here was tested for phenolphthalein and it came back negative, when we know that the little spot next to it came back positive, and then arguing to the jury that there was no blood there. And what the defense has done is they have tried to create a change in what Evidence Code Section 352 is really intended to do.
Well, isn't your argument that the court's ruling was that no positive results of phenolphthalein testing would be admitted unless there was some backup or subsequent testing to confirm that, since phenolphthalein is a presumptive test only? However, that the
Now that I've spilled my
state of the
martini,
science
it's going
is
to
that
take a
a
little bit
negative
longer before I'm
phenolphthalein
back.
was pretty much conclusive in and of itself that blood was not existent. So that was the state of the court's ruling. Then during the course of the cross-examination of Mr. Fung this morning, I noted that the defense then offered through Mr. Fung positive phenolphthalein testing that had not been confirmed by any other testing method. So having made the initial objection and then sought to themselves to introduce it, then your argument is probably that the prosecution's entitled to do likewise, correct?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Blazer?
Yes, Your Honor. Our purpose in asking that question of Mr. Fung, it's our position that that never happened, that test never happened. His testimony was that he had been sent back specifically to do testing on July 6th, I believe it was, and that he claimed that he went back and did that, but didn't tell anybody about it, didn't record it anywhere, didn't write a report until October sometime, where he then includes what he maintains was the test results. We did not ask that for purposes of establishing that there was a positive pheno test. We used it for impeachment purposes to show that that never happened. And it was not our intent to open up all other pheno testing positive results for admission as positive evidence of blood.
Well, you did. Sorry.
First of all, it's inconsistent with your previous position that I did grant your motion to restrict that the use of positive phenolphthalein testing without any backup, and then to broach that without asking for any limiting understanding with regards to that, or couching it in some other way, presumptive test, without mentioning phenolphthalein or anything else. Haven't you created a conflict, and is it now fair for the prosecution to bring this evidence in?
Well, I might point out there was no objection at the time that question was asked.
Would it be wrong if I just rang this dish rag out into my mouth?
I mean, I saw wide eyes over on this side of the table is what I saw.
Well, again, this was for purposes of impeachment of Mr. Fung. We don't believe that that test was ever done. It was evidence that he was purporting to have created for purposes of demonstrating that he did something on the 6th, which we don't think he did. And it's
couldn't it have been couched in terms of an unnamed test, presumptive test for the presence of blood or some other way? I mean, couldn't it, and shouldn't you have given notice to the prosecution you were about to do that by asking to approach?
Well, may I mention? We had talked about at a bench conference about asking the question pertaining to the test of the sink trap, and I believe you were aware of that and had okayed that particular question. We chose not to do that with this impeachment material of Mr. Fung. We are very hesitant to reveal our impeachment material before we use it on the witness. That's the whole purpose.
Well, you should have thought about that before.
And perhaps we should have done that. We didn't do that. It certainly was not our.
Wasn't really true impeachment material in the sense that it was unknown and that there was some surprise advantage, since you already had the transcripts in his testimony previously.
Well, I don't think there had been any testimony before about the fact that he did not write a report until October 6th, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. And it's our position that that delay of many months was a cover-up, to cover up the fact that to cover his testimony in October, because he had not done anything in July, and that nothing was done, no testing was done. It's been our position all along with respect to Mr. Fung that this never happened. And I think it was appropriate impeachment material along those lines. If they want to ask him questions about it on redirect, I'm certain they'd be allowed to do that. But I don't think that that opens the door to all other pheno testing in other situations with other pieces of evidence.
Why not?
Well, because I don't think it does, because it was for a limited purpose.
So you didn't ask me to limit the purpose. That was just general evidence. It was just brought before the jury.
Well,
you didn't give the court notice. You didn't notify the other side because I had ruled in your favor, and then you go in and bring in something you asked me to keep out. So now it's out there for general purpose. There's been no
Johnny got something to
advice in the
say.
court that I should give a limiting instruction to the jury. So isn't the door wide open at this point?
We have no objection to a limiting instruction. I think one was given before on this very issue. I may be wrong about that, but that's my recollection. But we have no objection to your advising the jury it's exactly what the nature of the test is, and that it's a presumptive test, and that this was a question that was asked for purposes of impeachment only.
To watch Jeffrey bring the dish rag in his mouth.
Your Honor, I don't want to
It's
take
going to be a
up
lot more than
more
a
time
buck
with this in the court
99.
because it's necessary, particularly if you're inclined to rule in our favor.
Don't assume that.
Okay, well, maybe I will take up some more time.
No, I mean, let me ask you this. Do you have any case law? Because the case law, say, for example, in other presumptive tests, indicate pretty much what the court's ruling has been, that unless there's a 352 issue, and there are a lot of courts that have kept it out on that basis. Do you know of any other reported case that deals with a situation similar to ours?
Where they open the door by introducing presumptive testing of one test? No, I haven't, Your Honor, but we do know of the rule of curative admissibility that are commonly referred to as opening the door, where where one side puts in evidence, the other side is entitled to rebut it. And let me point out the fallacy of counsel's argument is that there was no reason whatsoever that they had to ask what the results of the phenolphthalein test. There was no reason, as the court points out, that they had to ask what the nature of the test was specifically. Their alleged reason for doing it was simply to show that he had claimed to have done a test, but the result has no impeachment value whatsoever if they're trying to characterize it as impeachment or attacking the credibility of the witness. So the argument that they're making simply falls on that score. But I'd like to make two other arguments that I feel are also very important. Number one, the court, I think, was ruling under 352 of the evidence code at the time that Your Honor made its initial ruling. And what the court said is you said that you would not allow evidence to be put before this jury in such a way so that it were misleading. What we have is a situation where the defense has very extensively asked questions as to how much blood was in the Rockingham location, as to where it was, and very specifically asked whether the sink trap was tested and what the result was, and that it came back negative. Now, what earthly reason is there for asking that question other than to be able to argue to this jury that there was no blood in the sink and that he did not wash up in the sink?
Okay, time out. I'm just over here laughing by myself because this is actually really funny. I monitor Twitter as we go along just to see if anybody's saying anything that's important, or the mods or things are telling me information I need to know. This is funny. I'm sorry.
I want to see it. I'm curious.
This is the griftiest mother effer I've ever. This is the griftiest mother effer I've ever seen in my life. This is some serious grift. Now I've got to bring this up here because it's in Chrome. I've got to switch it over here to Edge and then share the window. Oh my God! So those of you that have seen my the recent Twitter where I moved out of the other room and moved my computer over here, and then I sort of fixed the arrangement for the room. So it was a little more comfortable. I had some old cloth chairs that were smelling like dogs. And I had some just ancient, like $80 bookshelf that was just kind of ratty that I'd had for about 15 years. So I just got some new IKEA bookshelves and got some decent leather sofa, and I tweeted it out. This is what I tweeted. Let's see. All right. This was the tweet here. For those of you that saw the room, this is the what was used to be behind the camera, but now it's just my little study. I've perfected my study. We're gonna put a little bit of art over here on the wall in a little bit. But I tweeted this out, and then the griftiest of grifty people, Andrew Branca, he does this. Get your copy of Law of Self-Defense Principles for free.
Wait, it's free? I want one.
It is free. Just go to lawofselfdefense.com. You get your free book.
Awesome. I just got Gosney's book yesterday. I have to add to my collection. I love the self-promotion. It's shameless. I love it. Is he coming on tomorrow? Oh, I would love it if he came on tomorrow.
He should be. Get your copy of Law of Self-Defense Principles for free. lawofselfdefense.com.
Totally unrelated. Just like...
That's beautiful.
He could have been like, look at those sexy chairs, buy my book. And it would have been like, okay, sure. But it's just like, no, just buy my book. Oh, wait, no, actually, it's a free book. Get the free book. Honestly, I respect it. I have mad respect. and
Gosney's book, his first one, Ideas and Answers in Law, is what's underneath this. So this is why you need to be on Twitter, Goz. I know you're here now, but you got to step your Twitter game up, because I don't know. This just struck me as just hilarious.
Oh wait, I just realized that it's on your table and that he zoomed in on.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that before. I thought it was just like a photo link.
Oh no, it's here on my table. He's zoomed into this part.
That's really good. I love that.
I'm sorry. I just saw that. And I thought that was really funny. All right. So, sorry about that interruption. I just saw that and couldn't help but share. That Andrew Branca is some next level grift. None of us are worthy of that level of grift.
Branca had a great moment the other night when he was on Joe's stream and he comes on, he's in the hot tub. That was my favorite.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right, that was funny.
Well,
Let's get back to the
book. It works. The advertising worked. I'm totally going to get it now.
Wow, let's get back to the fun and games over here.
Let's do it.
There is no other purpose for doing that. So how can you possibly allow a situation under 352 where they've been permitted to introduce evidence that there was a negative phenolphthalein?
Yes, Flux, that is a Woodwick candle.
That there was a positive test in the sink drain itself. That is misleading. I think that what the defense is doing is they are trying to have the court convert 352 from a shield that's designed to protect you from overly prejudicial evidence into a sword that's designed to create an inference that there was no blood in these locations, when in fact we have a scientific test that says that there is. Your Honor, I would say on the score that if the court thinks that we need further foundation in terms of a serologist, we could conceivably have Mr. Fung simply testify to what he did in the color change and his observations, and have someone else testify to the interpretation, although I don't think that step is actually necessary. So there is more than one reason for allowing this in. Opening the door is one, but fairness is another, and a proper usage of 352 is another. And this case should not be submitted to the jury in the posture that there is no blood and no evidence of blood, when we know in fact that there is, and there is a reliable test that is used in the scientific community that suggests that. Also, I'd point out to the court that we did find out from technical experts that bleach does not cause a false positive with the phenolphthalein test when you use the two-stage method, which I speculated was the case, but now has been confirmed to be the case by experts that we have spoken with.
Gee, they should have used phenolphthalein in the Zachariah Anderson trial.
The two-step test specifically. Would have been nice if they'd been a little more thorough.
The first argument, it's also too late for a limiting instruction at this point. It came in for all purposes. The jury's not going to be back until tomorrow. And finally, I'd like to point out one other thing. In rehabilitating this issue, or readdressing this issue with Mr. Fung, we need to show what his practice is with respect to what he does when he gets a positive phenolphthalein test. Or when he does a phenolphthalein test.
He ignores it or throws it in the back of a hot van.
We can show that he does not write reports contemporaneously, an analyzed evidence report contemporaneously with that testing.
How is that a good thing?
When he tested the Bentley, so we need to get that in.
How is that a good thing?
When he tested certain other items at Rockingham, including the sink.
Are we just going to follow Dennis Fung, A Day in the Life, and watch him at work? Because that wouldn't be good.
Man's practices, and that it has been consistent throughout this case, and that is of vital concern to the people in addressing the supposedly limited issue that counsel says that the phenolphthalein test was introduced on.
That's exactly the point why it was important that he be asked the question about the pheno test being positive as opposed to being negative. We were not asking that question for purposes of eliciting the truth of the fact of what the pheno test was, but the fact that he said it was positive makes it a much more important event, one which he would record, tell his boss, tell Ms. Clark, tell somebody, than if it had been a negative test. So that particular piece of information was not offered for the truth of the matter stated. Far from it. It was offered for just the opposite, to show that by his testimony, that would be the important type of event that he would record. I'm not aware of any case authority on opening up the door with this kind of a question that opens up a whole scientific area as far as testing in other realms. And if the court is concerned about that, if the prosecution has any cases they want to cite, we'd like a chance to respond to those.
All right. Thank you, counsel.
Huddle time.
All right, I'm going to do a little more research on my own with regards to this particular issue, because I think the landscape of the issue has changed considerably since this morning. I felt very comfortable with the initial court ruling, but now that we have a different situation, I'm not so comfortable with it anymore. So I'll take a look at it over the evening hours.
Would the court want any testimony on this issue as to the phenolphthalein test?
No, I don't need that. The issue is whether or not the court having ruled one way at the request of one party, and then that party having decided to bring in that very thing, whether or not in fairness you're entitled to do the same thing. That's the issue. And within the rubric of 352. So I'll take a look. All right, any other legal conundrums you want to present to me?
There was another issue as to the videotape, Your Honor. Apparently, we did not get the exact copy of the videotape that was shown to the jury, the one with the counter in it, and the one that we have, according to Mr. Fairtlow, and I can't represent this on my own, is not shot from the same camera. May I just have one moment?
No.
They are the same, except that one has a counter on it and the other doesn't. So apparently one is edited and the other is not. And we would like the exact same version, because there may be a difference in quality or clarity, which would resolve the issue that was raised as to exactly what item was being handed.
All right, Mr. Blazier, do you have any problem searching your videotape file, making available to the prosecution the same exact footage with the counter in it rather than the counter removed?
They already have it, Your Honor. Mr. Fairtlow could not find the clip with the envelope and the glove on the blanket. He said he went over the tape in great length. I showed it where it was on the tape, and I think he's satisfied that at least those clips are on there. The clip for the counter are on there someplace as well. We've given him that tape. I think it's also on the first tape that we introduced, which is Court's Exhibit number 2. I think that's the same tape. But we've given them that tape at least twice, and it's on there.
All right, you're saying that's on Court's Exhibit 2?
I think that's the KCBS tape that we'd introduced very early on. Whether that has the one with the counter on it, I'm not sure. There's a lot of clips. There's probably 7 hours of tapes that we've given them. That's a compilation of 7 tapes, which we'd also given them. And there are a lot of repeats, a lot of repeat clips, and we made those excerpts from that 2-volume set. So, and we didn't do any editing ourselves, other than to take the clips out.
All right. Well, it seems to me if it's the same footage, then there's no additional need. I know that Ms. Hazel is still searching for the original format of that particular tape so we can see if it's available for enhancement purposes. And if we locate that from the news media, I'll let both parties know as soon as we do. All right, I see it as a non-issue at this point.
At this
point.
point.
Anything else before we launch into our 4 o'clock matters?
Yeah, I think Monday you said you reset the date for the motion that we had filed that was set this afternoon, and at your convenience, you can just tell us what's a good date for that. There was another 4 o'clock meeting that you left at your discretion due.
Yes, well, I'll tell you what, let's see where our 4 o'clock hearing today takes us time-wise, because it's extraneous to the presentation of evidence to the jury, and I want to see what kind of time obligations I'm going to have to spend with that issue before I commit to a hearing on the other issue.
That's fine.
All right.
Which motion is counsel referring to?
Referring to
the prosecutorial misconduct motion that was set at 4 o'clock today.
Which prosecutorial misconduct motion?
I like that. We've got the prosecutorial misconduct motion coming up at 4. Wait, what? What prosecutorial misconduct? I like that. He seems to be kind of confused about the prosecutorial misconduct motion that's coming up in just a quick second. But let's take that's a cliffhanger. Let's take that cliffhanger and catch up on some of these things here. Oh my God, you guys are so funny, by the way. Pastor Flash, so how much in total is Doggo Camp supposed to be? $100. That's just it. And which currency? Dollars. And, but, it just kind of comes up here in Korean won now. Don't know when that happened. So let's see. And does Chandler, we'll have to ask Chandler about that in a bit. So we'll keep that highlighted here. Paying to watch Jeff wring the dish rag in his mouth. As I said, that would take way more than $2. These are kind of, where'd we go? Here we go. It's Fedorovsky. Fedorovsky said, I bet Strawberry and Yoda put the IKEA stuff together for Jeff. No. I paid someone to do that. As a matter of fact, I paid Nicholas. All Swedes know how to put IKEA together. It's kind of, in the blood. I paid the delivery people there. It was like $70 to set it up, so I paid that because frankly, it's worth it. $70 for someone else to have the stress. But speaking of Swedes and IKEA, it's Nicholas Starov, Union Rep Labor Law, book on book action. Chickawaka. Anyway, we have Chandler back, so we can finish the last super chat from Pastor Flash. Let's see here. To do that, we are going to have to move Chandler up here. We're going to have to put her in the hot seat.
Hello.
Does Chandler still have the sticky tape on the wall?
I do.
But it's blurred, so you can't see it. So
I have
pretend
to.
It's not there.
I have to sand it off. It's very embarrassing. So I figured out how to blur my background with like the StreamYard basic.
Yeah.
But like this thing happens.
Yeah.
Where my head kind of blurs. So it's a work in progress. It'll hopefully look a lot nicer. I'll have an actual like nice setup behind me instead of this ugly wall.
Well, that answered that question. All right, now we have to.
Thank you for super chatting just to ask about the tape on my wall. You guys are strangely obsessed with it. It's like really strange.
Yoda looks lost. Well, that's kind of Yoda's default position. Yoda is not the smartest dog in the world. Mostly deaf, almost incredibly malnourished when he was young. He didn't get a lot of nutrition when he should have got it. He's really not the smartest dog on planet Earth. So he just kind of stares off into space and sort of uses the Force to keep the universe intact most of the time. We just say that he's just off in Planet Yoda, just doing his own thing. And was it necessary for Scheck to keep him on for 8 days? 8.5 days, actually. And yeah, it's just that bad. He's just done that bad. And it just keeps getting worse is the problem. So it's a brutal beatdown. This case destroyed sequestration, which is now needed more than ever. I think sequestration is an important thing for criminal trials. For civil trials, not so much. For criminal trials, yeah. And this did take a lot of wind out of the sails when you put these people in sequestration away from their family, friends, and work for 9 months. 267 days, something like that. It was a long time.
It was long. It was very long, and they were not allowed to like watch TV, leave the hotel that I mean, it was like they were really they had a hard time, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, they had their little activities where they go to movies and things like that, and go on field trips, but that would still suck. Living in a hotel for almost a year. Well, all right. Well, they're gonna argue here for just a few more minutes, like literally like a minute and a half, and then they're gonna do a little bit more. Then they're gonna go into showing the videos and explaining why showing these videos are an issue or why they shouldn't be an issue, depending which side you're on.
Choose either one.
I think it's in volume 2. Okay. Anything else before we await the parties for the 4 o'clock matter? All right, for the news media information, I normally conduct my jury inquiries in chambers. I will make a transcript of the proceedings available to you as soon as the transcript's available for today's proceedings, probably first thing tomorrow morning.
Now you're on the jury proceeding.
Yes, sir.
Regarding Mr. Simpson. Mr. Simpson has expressed a desire, Your Honor, to be present. And I know the court's ruling with regard to Chambers, but he would like to be present for any hearings regarding the jurors from this point forward. And I'd ask the court to consider that. Perhaps we can do it with in the courtroom with him out here, perhaps.
Ooh, Johnny sounding a little extra
As far
sexy
as
today.
non-jurors are concerned, I'll grant that.
OJ wants to be
As
here
far as
for
jurors
that.
are concerned,
Oh, Huggy Bear, he wants OJ to be in
Those,
it.
inquiries will be conducted in chambers with counsel present on the record, without the presence of the defendant.
All right, thank you.
Non-juror witnesses will be interviewed in his presence. Right. Including non-jurors includes ex-jurors. You're welcome. Okay. All right, we'll await the arrival for the parties for the 4 o'clock matter. All right, thank you, counsel.
All right, that's the end of this particular video, so we have to switch it out here. And in the process, Corn Pope asked a question. Do you think he did a bad job or just a bad job on the stand? I think he did a shitty job and a devastatingly bad job on the stand. Chandler, comments?
Yeah, I think that he was bad at his job. And I think that he, the thing is, you can't do a bad job as a witness necessarily if you're like really well prepared. I mean, well, no, you can. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like he was prepared very badly by the prosecution, and he did not hold up to pressure very well. So, I mean, I just think that his performance overall is just terrible. Just really, really awful in all areas of life. The fact that he kept his job is kind of a miracle. Like that was like extremely lucky. I'm like considering what that guy went through. Wow. Yeah, no, he was just, he did a bad job in general.
He'd want to keep his job.
No. Oh, why is it on me? Hi. Jeff.
That's a button you don't want to be touching, isn't it?
Well, I was suddenly hosting and I had no idea what to do.
Well, let's see. Now we gotta, now we just gotta undo everything I just did. I've been hitting this. I have this stupid gaming mouse that has this button on the side that I have never hit in like the last year, and now I've been hitting it regularly. So apparently, I've changed my holding position for this mouse. Things you didn't ask and didn't want to know. All right,
technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Get the dog cam back. All right, we are ready to go. We've got the next video all locked and loaded. They're gonna talk a little bit more, then they're going to get into actually showing the videos that they want or don't want the jury to see and why. Share screen. Dennis Fung, part 11.
Is it really part 11?
Well, it's I think it might be part 11 for us too, but yeah, this is just.
All right, back on the record in the Simpson matter. Mr. Simpson is again present before the court with his counsel, Mr. Shapiro, Mr. Cochran, Mr. Neufeld, Mr. Scheck. Mr. Scheck, correct? Correct. All right. People represented by Mr. Goldberg and Mr. Darden. Jury is not present. Counselors, anything we need to take up before we invite the jurors to rejoin us? My recollection is that we had discussed some issues regarding videotapes. Are we prepared to go forward?
Your Honor, my understandings of the court's orders last night were that we were to be providing copies of the videotapes that counsel wanted to show today so that we could review them over the evening. And Mr. Scheck did say he was going to get copies for me, but I didn't receive any. I was here until about 8:30 or 9 last night, so we are not ready.
Your Honor, before we left, we gave Mr. Goldberg an opportunity. I didn't know that he was expecting copies that evening. And in fact, due to certain difficulties, we have not been able to make a copy of the last tape that we received in the afternoon. I mean, if he wants to, I don't know what to say. I mean, we've shown him the tapes. If the court wants to look at them, basically.
Well, as I recall, as we ended the court day, I was advised that the prosecution withdrew their objection.
That was our understanding.
Johnny coming in hot. I love how he's like,
yeah.
It's like, Johnny, your mic. I've had that problem.
Waived an objection to was the videotape of the in-court testimony.
Let me have the transcript of yesterday's proceeding.
All right.
My
Oh, look at
recollection
those
of what I
flowers.
heard is that we withdraw our objection to the videotapes, plural, is what I thought I heard.
Ooh, you withdrew your objection to the tapes. Way to go, prosecution. Not just one, all of
Transcript,
them.
Ms. Clark, Your Honor, so that the court is aware we have withdrawn our objection to the showing the tape, the direct testimony of the witness, so that we should recommence with that. So that was a single tape. All right, court stands correct.
Oh wait, so they're going to unobject, huh?
All right, Mr.
They're going to
Goldberg, what other
unobject.
clip of
They're going to
tape
unobject.
Do you need to review prior to restarting with Mr. Fung?
Well, there were two clips of tapes.
Right, Mr. Scheck, would you help me on this? First clip showed Mr. Fung with paper bags and a catalog case.
I have all the tapes and show them to Mr. Goldberg. This is what we intend to show. There's a shot of Mr. Fung.
Mr. Scheck.
There is a shot of Mr. Fung and Miss Mazzola exiting Rockingham. Mr. Fung carrying a black bag, a black valise, I think the
catalog case,
litigation case, and some brown paper bags. And Miss Mazzola has what may be a posse box or a clipboard and a bottle of water, it appears to me. And they go into the truck, and there's sound that I think we showed the court yesterday, where Mr. Fung says something to the effect of,
Right, is that the first tape?
That's the first tape.
With the testimony?
I'm sorry? No, that doesn't have the testimony. That is just a clip. That's one view of it. I showed Mr. Goldberg last night a second tape that we got just as late in the afternoon that has additional footage of that, where we see from another camera angle, Mr. Fung and Miss Mazzola then leaving from the truck and walking back into Rockingham, picking up two little yellow carts from the driveway and heading back in. And I think when you see both tapes, you'll see that there was a camera person there from Channel 9 and a camera person there from Inside Edition. And in this second shot, the Inside Edition camera person actually gets a picture of a Channel 9 videotape person. So you can see where both shots are coming from. Then we have another set of tapes showing Mr. Fung and Miss Mazzola leaving Rockingham a second time. This time we see Mr. Fung and his hands, and we see Miss Mazzola.
So we have not seen this videotape yet.
But we did. We saw the second one. We saw one clip of the second one, I believe. And I have one clip of that I've shown the prosecution. And then I have a second clip of that that is more complete in that there's a second shot of them walking further towards the truck. In addition, we showed him a complete videotape that includes
you wanted
footage
video?
in
Here's a
between
shit ton of video
that
for
we
you.
received yesterday afternoon. Now, if the court wants, I can show you all the different clips in the order that I want to show them to the witnesses, because and then we'll just
Have you displayed this to the prosecution in the manner that you intend on displaying it to the jury?
I've displayed all the tapes. I'm not sure that I've displayed them in the order, but I could do that if he wants.
All right. Mr. Goldberg, your request at this point is for some additional time to review these videotapes?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much additional time do you think you need?
I don't know how
Hey, the return
long
of Yoda.
exactly these videotapes are. The totality of the tapes that Mr. Scheck just mentioned, I'd imagine it probably wouldn't take that long.
I love how it looks like they're watching the trial. That's really cute.
Well, we have the video equipment here.
Big fan of Doggo Cam.
You can look at it here rather than hazard the elevators in the building.
Well, that may be true, Your Honor, but as the court knows, many of these videotape clips that counsel has presented present images that are very fleeting, and the defense is only concentrating on 1 or 2 frames that are very easily missed.
Time is
So
fleeting.
It is useful.
Madness
for
takes
our
its
purposes
toll.
in order to be prepared to deal with these issues.
But
Be able
listen
to carefully look
closely.
at them, and that's why we request a copy.
Well,
Actually,
Mr.
yes,
Goldberg,
for
I'll tell you
very
what,
much
let's
longer.
do this. Mr. Scheck has offered to display to you and to the court.
Yes, that is
those
the lovely
videotape
Chandler with
portions
the
that
green
he
eyes
intends
and
on
the
showing to the
thumbnail.
witness and to the jury. So
I
let's see
don't.
what he intends on showing and the order in
not
which he
green, they're
intends on
blue.
showing. And you tell me how much additional
But
time you're
thank
going to
you.
need.
It's very sweet.
All right, Mr. Harris, let's see the tape.
Let's see the tape. Show the tape.
Show us the
Show the
tape.
tape.
Show it. Come
It's all
on.
at
Show it. You know you want to show it.
Rockingham. Mr. Scheck, this is all at Rockingham. All right.
I love Rocky Horror.
Me too. I used to play riffraff in the stage shows in our town.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that.
I didn't do Meatloaf because my friend was fatter than I was.
I think Riff Raff is a little kookier. Levo's just low.
On this one.
The way he's swinging his arm.
We played this sound yesterday.
But my friend Dan, he played Tim Curry's character Frank, and he looks so much like Tim Curry. It's scary anyway.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Was his makeup as good as Tim Curry's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Now the whole point of this is to say that they said, now let's go back and do one last time. They just throw everything in this dark blue van that attracts the sunlight, attracts the heat. They just threw the stuff in the bottom of the van,
Chuck it in
closed
there.
the door in a nice, chilly, cool Los Angeles summer morning. And then said, let's go back for one last check.
My favorite part is how there's a fridge in there, and he
Yeah,
doesn't put
they
it in the fridge. He's just like, oh, let's just take this very sensitive evidence for this very important murder case, just plop it right there.
Yeah, literally right in front of the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fridge didn't work sometimes. So the fridge that works sometimes is somehow worse than just throwing it in the middle of a boiling hot van in the LA summer.
Mm-hmm.
God. Is this filmed with some kind of weird filter, or was it foggy and sunny both? Well, this was filmed on a 1995 video camera, Betamax, that's probably been copied about 900 times by this point.
Yeah, 90s cam.
You don't get the clean digital versions like we got today. Now, I'm pretty sure his lunch bag was probably in the fridge.
Imagine he mixed them up like identical brown bags.
He's eating the blood.
I have preserved this tuna sandwich for later.
That's in fact what we have from that tape. All right.
Oh, did y'all see that? That was my favorite part of the videotape eras. Oh, damn it. This isn't YouTube. We can't do the arrows back 10 seconds, but that tracking line across the videotapes are always cool.
Can I just say I love how he mishandled the evidence, how he's just like swinging the bag back and forth. Like, it shows he was very careful with it.
Yeah. And says, let's just leave it in the van for a while we go do some more stuff. And now that I have no more martinis,
You want these marked now,
I just
Your
have
Honor?
to drink tea from thedragonstreasure.com.
be
Go to
defense,
thedragonstreasure.com. Use code word
1101.
Vices and buy some delicious tea. This is the Peach Princess tea.
That sounds really good. Thank you for reminding me. I love peach and tea.
Oh, it's so
Especially
good.
with green tea. Big fan. Or oolong.
It's
Your
oolong-
Honor,
it's oolong tea. It's
before
like
we start
peach
this
oolong
one,
tea.
It's up to Mr. Goldberg. We have an option here. This tape shows a number of different events. We intend to show to the witness the first segment that is a more complete view of this one. But if the prosecution wants to see what is in between from beginning to end,
How long is the tape?
I think it's about 5 minutes.
Play it.
Cindy Johnson says, "What's the T again and code?" This is
All right, we'll
the
mark the second
Dragon's
tape for
Treasure.
11:02.
The Dragon's Treasure Tees. TheDragonsTreasure.com. Use code word Vices. Usually has like 60 different teas he rotates through, loose leaf, in bags, whatever you want, however you want to order it. Code word Vices gets you 10% off. So TheDragonsTreasure.com, code word Vices.
You want to hear it? Go ahead.
This peach tea is so good. Tracking lines are awesome. Swinging the evidence around in the bag.
Like it's a rag doll or something. I mean, like he's going out to play.
It's my belief that's the cameraman that shot the first one.
Mazzola rocking the 90s lesbian do.
Yeah. That is not flattering, that haircut.
With the lesbian hairdo and sensible black trousers.
Now, at this point, that was all I was intending to show, but
Yeah. All right, let's see the remainder of the tape.
But also looks like a 90s lesbian.
Yeah.
Cornelius Random, some nicely trimmed bushes there. It ain't the 70s. They have manicured lawns.
Oh, this was before Bush. I think this was the Clinton era. Sorry,
That's what he
I'm
was talking
sorry.
about.
I suck.
There's Van Adder getting into his definitely not a police car.
You almost lost his toupee there for a second.
Nice.
No way, Jose.
No way, what, racist?
Very relaxed.
See, he said no way Jose, but this is Los Angeles, so his name probably is Jose. It wasn't racist.
I mean, considering the issues with racism in this case, or perceived racism, or just Mark Furman.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And Xcomer Triple Z says, very nice to see you on Kaiser yesterday, Chandler.
Oh yeah, nice to see you too.
Kaiser didn't invite me.
Rude.
Lame.
You might have been sleeping, actually.
Probably working. Okay. That was thrilling.
Oh my god, the look. This guy with the tie and the hat, I love it.
Yeah,
So
Johnny
stylish.
Cochran wants his tie back.
This guy's totally upstaging Johnny Cochran's tie moment. Like, he's like, oh, you see that tie? I'll raise you a better tie. So
Doesn't this just look like the Three Stooges? I mean,
Yeah.
just like, or like, like Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and Tweedledumbest, I guess, back there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tweedledummer. The length of the pants, like I love the rise on the pants. It's very flattering. They
It's
look
coming
very
back in style now.
They're all bumbling. I mean, I like the high-waisted look on some people, but that is just not. That's like very, not good for a petite person, seemingly. Which makes you look shorter than you are.
Yeah. But anyway, enough critique. I was gonna.
Yeah, no, they don't look like they're very.
Yeah, I was saying that's an absurdly high-waisted pants on someone that really doesn't have a waist.
No, it doesn't.
Draw your own
flatter
line.
you, honey. It's not a good look.
See, we pointed out at the same time. Surely you're all pointing out the exact same thing. Surely that's above the belly button. Yeah.
One would imagine.
Yeah, actually, I mean, when you don't have a waist, as someone who speaks from experience, you can just kind of draw the line wherever you want it, and that's certainly not it. It's the Steve Urkel look.
Yeah.
That's what it's on this tape.
God, I feel like Fung's whole testimony is an Urkel moment. It's a, did I do that kind of moment?
This one be Your Honor, 1102.
Second tape is 1102.
As in, did I screw up this entire thing? Yes, sir. You totally fucking did. Oh, sorry.
Yes, we mark this 1103.
I was ducking out of the way. I like Levi's. Good button fly,
We don't use that.
No, I wasn't looking.
This is 1103.
Yes.
Now this is where we have Van Adder on TV talking. I believe.
And did Van Adder testify?
Yes.
There's another segment of 1103 that I'd like to show previously, but I'd have to cue it up with Mr. Harris if the court would give us permission. Show and call the court's attention that it's a shot from another angle of Detective Van Adder getting out of his car, but now in this sequence, you can see what he has in his hands, whereas in the other sequence, his hands were cut off from view. Okay.
What's in his hand?
Yeah, you can see the rest of it, but it's just another short shot of the first one.
All right,
See you.
why don't you roll it back just some? Mr. Harris, can you roll it back?
Rolling.
Oh God, I remember when it used to do that whole thing when you'd rewind.
Yeah.
Be kind and rewind.
Are they going to charge you $2 if you don't rewind?
Yeah.
Is there another one?
God, the eyebrows on that. Is that Kardashian? Must be.
There in the back?
Yeah.
That's Robert Shapiro.
Oh, it's Shapiro. Oh, yeah, Shapiro did have those eyebrows, right?
Yeah.
I mix them up.
1103. I think there's one more view that I've discovered that I don't know if I'll show it or
How about
not,
that,
but,
Mr. Fung? Happened like day 3.
I want to give the
of our
prosecution all the
stream.
tape I have viewing this, and if they have some more, the news media has some more, I'd love to see it.
I did like that one. That was a delicious moment.
All right, Mr. Harris, you're going to cue that up for us?
Spoiler alert. I love whoever came into chat and was like, "Is this live?"
Yeah.
Because this is a still 11:03.
That's 11:04.
All right.
Just like,
As you see, it has
this is
a more
video of
complete
T
shot of them
outing
initially
somebody.
leaving, and then this just goes on to show something else.
Those would be the shoes that he allegedly kept in his house
Another
overnight.
sequence. I think they've seen this tape before from other sources.
We just go back about the 15 seconds.
Mr. Harris?
We get a freeze frame when it's under the stairs.
Oh man, if they keep up this showing the same video from different angles, I'm going to start my F it Friday drinking tonight. Jeez.
Yeah, it's who's wielding that camera? It's terrible camera work. It's just like everybody's butts.
Well, and seeing all of this, we're watching all of this because the prosecution said they wanted to see all of this.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who are made in a stink. Like, we want to see it all to make sure we got the exact same one. And you're like, all right, I can show you all you want. I can get more. I hope I get more. I want to show you some more.
It doesn't make
So
it any
there you-
better for you guys, but okay.
Secret Squirrel just got the notification. Come on, squirrely squirrel girl. Come on, YouTube. An hour later, seriously. Now I have to play catch up. Grr, good morning. We can skip the first 20 minutes. So, but you're not going to hear this until like an hour after you could have skipped. So
Hey,
sorry.
friend.
After you've wasted 20 minutes of your life, and then the next hour, you can know you didn't have to watch the first 20 minutes. All right. The dogs are plotting.
The dogs
Yoda's
are so
just trying
cute
to
this morning. They're just
Yoda's just trying to remember how to breathe.
Oh.
All right. If we get him while he sleeps. So that's the lucky thing. Bulldogs can't jump up onto beds. So I'm safe. I'm
You need to get
perfectly
'em-
safe.
You need to get like a little ramp or something.
I have stairs for them when I want to let, like if I'm out all day and I don't see them until really late at night or something, then I'll let them sleep up on the bed with me. And then spend the next week picking the hair out of everything.
Yeah, you need a lint roller for that. I mean, I have 3 cats, so I have like 17 lint rollers.
Yeah, like strategically placed throughout the house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that kind of catches us up with just about everything here. Oh, yeah. And Excromer Triple Z said, it's very nice to see you on Kaiser yesterday. It's Chandler. Now we can read that again. And remember that Steve Urkel turned into Stefan Urkel.
Oh, was not aware.
All righty. And so it's time for, I guess, for as long as we're here in the midstream, it's time for our midstream little catch-up grift. We currently have 307 people watching on our humble little weekly lowest viewed stream, the OJ Simpson stream. All 370, 306 of you now are very loyal to this. We got 267 likes. So this is just a good day where I can sit and relax and talk to you guys, talk to Chandler, watch this beat down. And I've been thinking about what to do after Fung gets off the stand about 6 or 7 months from now by my timing. But when he gets off, we will watch Dr. Henry Lee's blood testimony. Henry Lee is the GOAT, man. If you watch The Staircase Murder, he was the investigator for that.
Oh, I love that one. That was so good.
Yeah, Henry Lee has been my hero just like basically my entire life. Such a cool guy.
I didn't realize. Oh, that was one of my favorite cases. I love that documentary. I love watching all of the legal proceedings going on behind the scenes. I think we're going to finish Fung by the time I finish law school. Probably.
There's a video of 2 bulldogs chasing off a bear.
Oh.
I'm Loyalist 2:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. Well, welcome, Andrew Brunt. I'm glad to have you there at 2:30 a.m. in New Zealand. We've been here longer than Fung has been on the stand. Yeah. What's your point? All right. So anyway, hit that like button if you haven't already done so. 300 of you here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube. We have our little poll going here, which means nothing. It's just another reminder to like and subscribe. Currently, well, the big question is, why did you smash the like and subscribe button? Because I know you did. 19%. It's pretty close, actually. 19% of you says because of Chandler, not Halderson. 20% of you said just killing time to fuck it Friday. 26% of you said I don't fucking know. And 35% of you said so OJ doesn't stab me. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, take the poll. And then again, coming up tomorrow is the F It Friday stream, is the fucking Friday stream. We've got a huge all-star cast lined up. You're not going to want to miss it. In case you weren't here at the beginning and didn't quite catch who all is going to be on here, let me run that by you here real quick. Who we have coming on. These are the confirmed guests. Chandler will be there. Valhalla Awaits will be there. Steph the Alterner. Danny on Direct. Drex will be there. We said Flux. Ari Jacob. Nicholas Starov. Camelot. Potentially Criminal Sean. Runkle of the Bailey. Natalie Wisco. Meme Copium. Legal Mindset. Andrew. Kaiser Pineapple. And many, many more. Hopefully, we have a definite maybe from Andrew Branca and a possible from Megan Fox, medium smart reporter, not the thumbs. All right, that's kind of the end of the midstream grift. Do not miss that. That will start Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern and Saturday at 9 a.m. for me. Don't miss it. Bring it. And we will be getting into the 17-year aged Master's Keep Wild Turkey bourbon in this gorgeous bottle. Yeah, so that's what we'll be doing for F It Friday, starting in about 36 hours, 34 and a half hours from now ish. I don't know. I can't do math. All right. Let's get back at it. Let's get back at it. There we go.
These are the only relevant sections.
All right. 11:04, the last tape.
This was the we just saw.
That's correct. All right, Mr. Goldberg.
Yes, Your Honor. There are some things in the videotape that are of interest to us, and reviewing them that will take some time to look at more closely. And I would like the opportunity to do that. I would like the opportunity to make copies of these tapes, and counsel does not have copies. Provide us with.
How much time do you need?
It'll make it faster. I'll give them our copies. Then go look at them as long as they want, maybe in Chambers, videotape machine, anywhere. They're not going to go away.
I love that comment. So sassy back there. Not going to go away.
No, I understand. I understand that you would like to have your own copies, but the issue that I would like to resolve is the amount of time that you need to view this so that you can be prepared to redirect or whatever as far as Mr. Fung is concerned. I would like to proceed with the jury this morning.
Me too.
I know you would like to do that. I can understand that.
So what I would prefer we do is that Mr. Harris remain to assist you with the video equipment. You sit here with Mr. Darden or Mr. Harmon or Mr. Clark or Mr. Fairlove, whoever it is you need, Ms. Martinez. Look at it as many times as you need to here, and let's get the show on the road.
Your Honor, it's really not a very comfortable environment for us to take a look at these things. It does give us.
I'm not interested in comfort, Mr. Goldberg.
Seriously, what the fuck is that? It's not a very comfortable environment for us to look at the video.
Oh, come on.
What was that? No, seriously, what was the...
They're so complaining.
This is the beginning of woke here, people. Ugh. Nicholas has said, saw an update about Captain Corey from Trixie. If you're the praying type, now's the time to say them prayers. I guess he's taking a turn for the worse. I don't know what that means. Details, man. But yeah, so I guess things have taken a turn for the worse.
Poor Corey. Thank you for letting us know.
And let's go. Brandon says, it is 5 o'clock somewhere. Is it 5 o'clock somewhere yet? Why do you still have the dog banner up? Do I? Oh. All right. Because I'm dumb. That's why. Guess we need to get rid of that. Boop. There we go. Thanks. Someone finally told me. It's like walking around with your zipper undone all day. And finally someone tells you, like, after you get home. I preloaded a drink yesterday in case you missed it. I haven't looked at the stream yet. So, okay. We shall see if you have. In case you, well, let me just double check this here to make sure. Live. What are we looking at here? We're looking at this. Opening a window here. I see half of a drink. We've upped it. We're the threshold now is $200. Let's go, Brandon. It's or any aggregate of $200 is what we're doing now for the shots, because 35 just about killed me last time. But in exchange for that, we are doing a much higher proof, a 50% whiskey rather than the 40 we usually do. So we're upping the ABV, and we're also not spacing them out. We will come as soon as we hit the $200 mark repeatedly, not spacing them out over the course of time. So those are our concessions, but we are preloaded with a partial drink. That is pretty awesome. Thank you so much. Let's go, Brandon. Appreciate it deeply.
What a nice guy. So generous.
And let's see. Corey's the little boy that Johnny Depp helped grow his channel. He had two heart transplants.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
And X-Comer Triple says, saw your new interview room, Jeff. Chairs look great. It's not a new interview room. That's just my old. That's just my old study that I've put new chairs in a new whiskey and book cabinet in. That's just my. I prefer the term study. Study sounds much more dignified than man cave. That's my study with my books, my whiskey, and my cigars and pipes.
It would be a handsome interview room, though. Like if you had like somebody, like a guest on, if a Legal Mindset came over and hung out, you guys could have whiskey, you could talk about stuff. That would be like a really nice background, really nice setup there.
If only I liked people enough to invite them into my house.
I get that.
Smash the like button now. Well, thank you so much for the super sticker. Smash the like button now and do what they said. I think we've got everything. All right. Oh, he's fluid overload. Unlikely to get dialysis to remove it, and it's making breathing hard plus tired. It's not good.
That's very sad.
Poor kid. All right.
To discuss it.
And what's also sad is he feels uncomfortable in the courtroom. Ugh.
To take a good look at certain frames, because there are at least 2 or 3 frames.
Not necessarily changing the rules, just balancing them up. Higher price, higher proof, higher limits,
We feel that they have a discovery obligation.
You know your worth.
They reasonably intend to use these tapes.
I know the cost of a new liver.
We're not saying that the court should preclude it. We're not asking the court.
Well, you get funny when you're drunk. People should pay to see that.
Look at it, to review it as many times as you want. I want you to do it here.
And handsomely.
I don't want to waste time running up and down the elevators and making copies and everything else. Sure.
Yeah, I think it was Whoopi Goldberg who said, "Why would I get married? I don't want somebody in my house."
Yeah.
And I felt that on a spiritual level.
Would the court give us 30 minutes to be able to look at the tapes?
I'll give you 30 minutes, and I'll give you 30 minutes in my chambers with my VCRs and my TV, however you want to do it.
You almost said porn collection.
You can do it with this equipment here, high resolution monitor here, or you can do it in my chambers.
What kind of porn is
Dennis?
Dennis?
The tapes are here. Let's do it.
What kind of porn is Ito into? I wonder.
Yeah, they all look alike to you, don't they, Chandler?
What?
Probably as soon as it's available, as soon as we take a break for lunch, I assume. Most of the duplicators, videotape duplicators that I'm familiar with are real time.
Sure, I'll tell them what you said about the IKEA furniture.
All right, Mr. Fairtlow agrees.
Kidding.
All right, we'll stand in recess for half an hour.
Yeah,
the jury is not present.
Ito sounds annoyed. Yeah, Ito is annoyed because he has to delay it 30 more minutes, and he can't even go rest in his chambers because they felt uncomfortable sitting in the courtroom making the edits.
No, they're so whiny and complaining. Such babies. It's like, I'm sorry that you're losing your case. I'm sorry that everything is going badly for you. If you have to sit in an uncomfortable chair, that's your fault.
Poor babies.
Mr. Goldberg, have you had the opportunity to review the various videotapes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you comfortable?
For giving us that opportunity. I apologize that it took an intrude 30 minutes.
Did you have enough pillows?
We would like to argue about the admissibility of the tapes.
All right. All right, Mr. Goldberg.
Ooh, just look like the Grim Reaper today.
Your Honor, last evening when I had an opportunity to look at the tapes briefly, we objected on the grounds of relevance. It appears to me that the tapes, in terms of the events that they portray, are not material in the sense of not going to any contested issue. In this case, if you simply look at the events portrayed thereon, they're not inconsistent in any way with Mr. Fung's testimony. We made a similar argument, or I think that identical argument, in fact, last night. Mr. Fung testified that he took several items out to the truck. He said that the blood could have been packaged in a number of different ways, including in a brown paper bag, or in, I think what he said was his posse box, and then he had a third way, and he wasn't really sure. So there's nothing in terms of the tape itself that is material that contradicts him. Upon very careful review of the tapes, it's apparent to us that what the defense wants to try to do is not to introduce the tapes for the materiality of the events that are portrayed, but rather for the time sequence. And that is where we have a tremendous difficulty with these tapes, Your Honor, particularly on 1101 and 1103, which I'd like the court.
A posse box. That's what they call the big ass boxes. They call them posse boxes.
With several things in mind.
POSSEY.
1101, what you will see on that tape is at first Mr. Fung comes out with the various bags, the brown paper bags, and the large black type kit. And Ms. Mazzola is handling the same type of item. The next item is that there is a distinct cut and break in that tape. And then Mr. Van Adder arrives in his vehicle. And then the third thing that happens is there is a showing of Andrea Mazzola and Mr. Fung. This is a third cut coming out of the location, and Andrea Mazzola is handling what appears to be a garbage bag with some sort of
that was just Dennis Fung's
items in it. Perhaps that we could look at that, Your Honor, at this point.
All right.
Your Honor, I may just to save some time, we only are offering the first part of it. If Mr. Goldberg is going to argue now that we're not offering Mr. Van Adder getting out of his car, frankly, we would readily concede that that's a cut. And in terms of the way I have reconstructed events and what I put to the witness is that Mr. Van Adder is arriving after.
I think it's like $1.
That shot is out of order. If that's
or like 1%.
But I just want to
think
note
it's like
for the record
1%.
that in terms of what we're offering from that tape, we're not offering
Van Adder.
Van Adder.
All right.
Okay, and the third item, what that tape showed is it shows Mr. Fung with all the bags. It shows Phil Van Adder arriving, but it does not show the sequence of Andrea Mazzola coming out afterwards. If the court then compares that to tape number 1103, 1103 shows Mr. Van Adder arriving first, and then it shows Mr. Fung walking out with all of the items in the brown paper bags and the large boxes.
So,
and then the third item that shows is the scene of Andrea Mazzola coming out with the plastic bag. Now, If counsel is not offering 1101 for any purpose other than to show Mr. Fung carrying out all the bags in it, does not have any relevance at all. It seemed to me that what they are trying to do is get a sequence or an order. And we have two different tapes, 1101 and 1103, that depict an entirely different sequence. And how are we supposed to know which order those occurred in? I believe that that is the gravamen of the reason that they are introducing these tapes. And if that is true, it is extremely misleading to the witness and to the jury.
Oh, the days
for the
before
defense to be able
metadata.
to make assumptions as to when these events occurred and to present them whatever order they feel benefits their side, particularly when we have two different tapes that are cut in a very different sequence. I'd also point out, Your Honor, that it seems to be entirely without foundation if they are intending to ask Mr. Fung about the sequence in the tape number 1103 showing Mr. Van Adder arriving, to ask him about something that he would not have seen, that there's no foundation that he saw. So we are objecting, Your Honor, on the grounds of relevance, materiality. We are also objecting under 352 that this is extremely misleading, that this is prejudicial, that the jury should not see something where the issue is the order of events when we do not know what the order is, cannot determine what the order is, and we have two different tapes that have been cut in two different sequences. And it also...
Why can't you ask Dennis Fung what order things happened in?
Good question. Really good question. Are you afraid of something?
But he's a nice young man.
Like maybe he's going to mess up on the stand?
What are the chances of that?
It has the danger of misleading this witness because he doesn't know and hasn't seen the tapes and doesn't know what order they were cut in.
How about 1102 and 1104?
But he was there. He knows what happened. He's in the video because, oh my God. I don't understand.
Well, as to 1102, what 1102 shows is simply Andrea Mazzola coming out and Dennis Fung coming out at some point.
They're both coming out. I told you.
Again, an event which in and of itself has no materiality. I don't know whether the defense is offering that for some sequencing purpose. If they are, then we have the same objection that we don't know what the sequence of these three events are. 1104 contains shots of Detective Lang holding what appears to be a search warrant in the area immediately before the entry to the defendant's house, where stains in the proximate area where stains 7 and 8 were found on the brick portion of the entry area. And again, it's not material. There's no showing that Mr. Fung was there at that time or saw that. But it appears, Your Honor, that what the defense is trying to do is there are essentially three things that are going on when you boil these tapes down. Number one, at some point, whenever it is, Detective Van Adder arrives. At some point, whenever it is, Mr. Fung and Ms. Mazzola come out with a variety of items, including the brown paper bags and the large black boxes. At some point, in whatever sequence it is, Andrea Mazzola comes out carrying a trash bag and Mr. Fung is accompanying her. But the issue is sequence, and there's no way that we can tell from these four tapes what the sequence is. We would ask the court to require the defense to lay the same kind of foundation that the people have been previously required to lay when the issue is timing, when the issue is sequence, particularly whereas here the tapes are edited in two different fashions.
All right, thank you, counsel. Mr. Scheck?
Your Honor, I think the court has been as generous as one could be under these circumstances. And the prosecution has had a considerable period to look at every tape we have. They've had Detective Van Adder back there looking at it with them. I'm sure they've discussed it with everybody they can. I think that all these issues go to weight, not admissibility. I think that we should be allowed to show everything to this witness who was there, to try to sort through what happened when, the sequence of events. He's there. I want to show him the tapes. I want him to give us the order, if he possibly can, and explore that with him.
The jury will be here soon. Don't panic, everybody.
With respect to Detective Van Adder, I asked him some questions already about whether he recalled Detective Van Adder carrying a black duffel bag and a clipboard. And when he saw him, I think that we should be allowed to show him that tape of Detective Van Adder getting out of the car, show them all the sequences. And let's try to do it through the witnesses. Let's try to get to the truth. Because that's really what this is all about. Now, there's nothing more that we can do. We would like to get every tape we could. But between showing the videotapes of the events as they actually transpired, letting the witnesses see it, letting the witnesses tell us to the best of their recollection what happened when, we can try to reconstruct the truth of these events. That's all that we're proposing to do. On redirect examination, on the rest of their case, they can recall Detective Van Adder, they can recall Detective Lang, they can do whatever they want to try to straighten this out.
All right, Mr. Scheck, as to 1103, are you going to offer the portion with Van Adder's arrival at Rockingham?
Well, it had not been our intention to offer that particular segment. If they want it, they can, because what we showed the court were two different pieces of footage of Van Adder arriving that are more complete.
All right, so let me be clear on what it is you intend on offering, what you're proposing to offer. On 1101, it's merely Fung and Mazzola walking to the truck, correct?
I believe that's correct.
What you going to do with all that
Van
junk
Adder's
inside that
portion in
trunk, Mazzola?
Could I just see, they have the tapes. Could I just see the tapes? Because I have my notations on them. I even gave them my work product.
That's so funny. I got a little tipsy the other night, and for some reason I wanted to listen to that song, and I started playing it. And I don't know why. I don't know what inspired me. Now, do we like Marcia Clark's look today?
That's what I said. She looks like the Grim Reaper.
I think she looks like a Sith Lord, but I mean, Grim
Same
Reaper
thing,
also
yeah.
works. Yeah.
She doesn't have the hood for either of them, though.
Yeah, she didn't come to play.
Show are the two more complete shots of Van Adder. We're not going to show it on 1101.
One is the
but on
unedited version, and
1102,
the other is the NC-17 rating.
1103, we would show the witnesses the two shots of Van Adder arriving, one where you can't see what's in his hands, and the other one where you can. Just for purposes of completeness so that everybody gets to see everything.
And let's play this right now, Judge, because I am overdue at
All right,
Blockbuster,
how
and I will be
about
charged a late
1102?
fee.
All right, 1102.
This is Fung and Mazzola coming out to the truck.
Right. What our proposal with the 1102 was,
Different angle.
yeah, this is the tape that has the complete shot, as in my recollection, of Fung and Mazzola going back into Rockingham. So we were going to show that entire sequence, and we were going to show Detective Van Adder arriving. But this is the shot where you can't see the bag. On 1103, we were going to re-show the shot where you can see the bag as he's getting out of the car and what's in his hands. So that's how we were going to deal with it in terms of those tapes.
How about 1104?
1104, I think. 1104, I think is the, we're going to show the section of Fung and Mazzola leaving Rockingham. This time, Mr. Fung has no bags in his hands, and Miss Mazzola has the trash bag. The value of this shot is that we see them starting at the front door and coming down the driveway. And that was the part we were going to offer from
Detectives
11.
All right, 1104 also has that gathering out front with Lang, with Detective Lang, Detective Van Adder. Are you offering that portion?
Yeah, it wasn't our intention to.
Standing there with the tennis shoes.
Yeah, that's after a cut. We weren't intending to offer
So it's
that.
only Fung and Mazzola leaving.
Only Fung and Mazzola leaving.
From a different perspective.
Right, from a different perspective. And then the last tape, I believe. All right. There's another view, though, on
No, that's my copy of Sleepless in Seattle. I need to return that Friday.
Clear, Your Honor. On 1103, we're going to show the sequence where Fung and Mazzola are walking out of the driveway. Mr. Fung doesn't have anything in his hands, except maybe a pen or something. And Miss Mazzola has that trash bag. But this time you get to see them walking further down the
I'll show you where. I'll show you
van.
Kardashian next time he comes on the screen. For those of you that are wondering.
Thank you. Any other comment, Mr. Goldberg?
Yes, sir. Well, it's become absolutely apparent from
Oh, he's just out of frame. I believe those are his arms there.
from what counsel says, that the sequence is exactly what he does want to use these tapes to do. And how can
Well,
you...
let me ask you this. First of all, do you have an objection? What is your objection to the...
And are you comfortable
tape
standing there
segments
talking to me?
that depict only Mr. Fung and Miss Mazzola in their travels in and out of Rockingham on the 13th?
The objection, Your Honor, is that it is immaterial in the sense that in and of itself, if all you have is a picture of them coming out and you are not making any suggestion to this jury whatsoever
It's OJ
as to
Pride
what
Day.
order it came in,
Everybody's coming out
then it
on
is
video.
immaterial. The only materiality of it and the only argument that counsel has made is that he wants to resolve order, the sequence. And how on earth can that be done with a tape that has been cut, where we have another tape that presents it an entirely different sequence? The only issue that counsel is offering this tape on, Your Honor, is something that we cannot
Just
resolve
asking,
from the
what is your
tape.
specific objection?
That is my specific objection, that it's not material, that it should be precluded under 352, and that there must be a foundation. If we were trying to offer a piece of evidence on the issue of sequencing...
Kardashian's the one sitting
and
off screen
timing,
watching other men
and we
handle
did
his
try to do
business.
this. And we did do this. We had to call the cameraman. The cameraman can testify, perhaps, the sequence that these events occurred in. Mr. Fung cannot, from the videotapes. And if what they are trying to do simply is to resolve the issue of sequence, you can do that by questioning the witness. You don't need the videotapes. The videotapes do not shed any light, do not do anything except confuse and mislead the jury and the witness. And it is not legally permissible to do that.
It confuses the witness? Is that I don't think
Are
that's
you
a real
serious?
objection. Objection, confusing Dennis Fung.
Yeah, if the witness is confused, then he might he might screw up your whole case, but he's already done that. Oh my god.
Kelly Sexton, you think Kardashian knew OJ did it? Did what? His wife?
You love that theory. I'm not sure. You don't think Chloe looks like the other ones? I don't know. I mean, I think she looks
One
like
of
them.
these things is not like the other.
I mean, at this
Three
point, they've
of
had
these
so much.
things are kind of the same.
They've had so much plastic surgery. It's hard to tell. You'd have to look at them as like maybe like 12-year-olds before they started getting lip fillers and their face, bones shaved down and stuff. Ugh. Kardashians.
Version 1.0. Nice.
I just still love when you pan to Kardashian in the court and you were like, it's his fault. And I thought you were talking about the case and you were like, no, it's his fault. The Kardashians exist. That whole empire, he made them. I love that. Oh boy.
Yeah. Nah, Chloe's just built different.
Can I ask, what did he even do for the case? Because it seems like he sat off to the side. Did he do any kind of any cross-examination? I mean, because he had just reinstated his legal license to come on, and I just didn't see him do any lawyering. But then again, I haven't seen the whole thing.
He did a very small amount. Most of it was talking on the phone, trying to convince OJ not to delete himself while he was crawling down the freeway.
Yeah, that's true. Come on,
Bernanke
Juice.
says, I'm pretty sure it's 30%. YouTube takes 30, Apple takes 30. they don't take it from me. So I don't know what they do for you guys, but like if you send if you send a $2 super sticker or whatever through Apple, I get like $1.99. So like 1% of it goes somewhere. And if you send like $100, I get $99. So they take like 1% out of whatever comes to me. So I don't know what they do to get you on your guys' end. I assume they don't do anything, but yeah, the price of platforming doesn't matter. I mean, it's just like anything. You buy a gallon of gas and like 90% of it's taxes or some shit like that. Anyway, on with the show.
At under 352, under relevant.
Oh yeah, I forgot to read the other ones I was going to read.
I can't wait to get my first super chat. It's going to be so exciting.
I know exactly where I was when they read the verdict. So do I. I was in the law school moot courtroom. Wank Shaftesbury says, I actually don't know about the race mix of the jury. Okay, the jury was 8 black, 2 Hispanic, 1 half white, half Indian, and 1 Caucasian female. And they had like 12 or 15 alternates they had that I just have no idea about. So yeah, there we go.
And a lot of black women, I think, were on the jury. That they I remember they said that about voir dire. They wanted specifically to include a lot of black women, and the prosecution got their way with that, but I don't know if it worked in their favor. So.
Yeah, it was 6 black women, 2 black men. Were the 8 black jurors, and yeah, there we go.
Under foundation. Mr. Scheck argues, well, when he's addressing the court legally, I want to do it. I want to do it is not an exception or is not a provision in the evidence code.
So you're saying that because of the cuts, you can't tell which sequence occurs first, the coming out with the trash bag and coming out with the catalog cases.
You can't tell which occurs first. These tapes in no way shed any light on that issue and will confuse that issue. That is our objection.
All right.
I'm confused why this is an issue.
Mr. Scheck?
Well, you can't tell. And we'll find out when we question the witness. He was there, and he can tell us. But you can't tell which is first and which is second, we contend. And we're going to prove it.
Okay.
And we have a right to prove it.
All right.
Okay.
How about the foundation, since there's the cut?
Well, no, I think that when you say the cut, which cut are you referring to, Your Honor?
Well, you have Fung and Mazzola going to the truck, placing items in the truck, and then turning around and walking back down the parkway. There's a cut.
Yes.
All right. Then you have them coming out again from the Rockingham address, Fung without anything and Mazzola with a plastic bag.
Right.
Which came first?
That's the issue. Maybe the witness can help us. It's up to the witness. How else are we going to find it out? They've been speaking to Detective Van Anner. They've been speaking to everybody else.
So you want to be heard on this?
Definitely not.
We think we can do it through the witness, and we think that that's the whole point. We're not hiding anything here. We're showing them everything. One can reconstruct the camera angles from the 2 different cameras as best one can. They can talk to the witnesses. They can put on any other witness after this is over to try to reconstruct events. Basically, is what we're not using any misleading cuts. They've had every opportunity to look at it. We're giving every camera angle that we have available, that anyone has available to our knowledge.
All right, Mr. Goldberg, has this video been displayed to Mr. Fung?
No.
If it would assist you, I would ask once again that we approach very briefly, and I can make an ex parte application, and I think you'll be satisfied.
No,
I think.
Oh, that's right. That's what he wanted to do last time. Ordinarily, when they're asked to explain something, the other party gets to hear it. And Barry Scheck didn't want him to hear it. He said, yeah, this goes to our impeachment. This goes to what we're talking about here. So we don't want them to know what we're going to say until we say it in open court. So they, so that they can't do all this preparation before we do this. Yeah. And so now he's saying, hey, if you'll let me do this, then you'll explain, you'll understand. It'll be very short. You'll let me do it. And Judge Ito was still saying, no.
We do have a right to do that.
I don't need you to do that at this point, Mr. Scheck. The largest question I have is foundation. Because if you're going to exhibit this to the jury, then there's got to be some authentication as to what came first.
Chicken
Since
or the
obviously
egg?
the sequence
Which
of
one
these
was
items
it?
is important to you.
Well, I think that maybe Mr. Fung can tell us.
All right. Then I propose we do that out of the presence of the jury first and see if he can lay a foundation for it. Otherwise, you can bring in the cameraman.
What do you think of that ruling?
Interesting.
I give up. I really don't think that I should have to reveal this now. I really think that's wrong. But
I'm not asking you to do it. I'm saying if you want to lay the foundation with Fung or the cameraman out of the presence of the jury, you're welcome to do so. That's your option.
One second.
Calm down, Check. Calm down, little buddy. I got you. I got you.
Your Honor, my apologies to the court. I think that the course you suggest is a wise one.
Thank you.
And
what is your choice?
The choice is that we lay
Mr. Fung out of the presence?
Yes.
Let's have Mr. Fung.
All right. So now they're going to bring Fung in and make him testify outside the presence of the jury to see whether or not they should let him testify about the same stuff in front of the jury. That's what we saw happen in Murdoch for about 2 fucking weeks with all the financial crap. So they want to bring in this video. He's saying, what's the foundation for this? You need to lay out how this all connects, these 3 different scenes. And the prosecution says, well, Dennis is getting confused by all this. You're just trying to confuse things. And he's like, well, let him testify to it and we'll see. So that's what's happening there. There's going to be a fungus among us here in just a second.
Good morning again, Mr. Fung. Would you take the witness stand again, please?
So much hullabaloo.
All right, Mr. Fung, you're reminded you're still under oath, sir. We're going to show you a few videotapes. Mr. Scheck, Mr. Harris.
The first one is Backdoor Shenanigans Volume 2. Yeah, objection, confusing my witness isn't the real objection.
Only be shown the tapes as to the specific sequences, the 3 sequences we've discussed, and not in any particular order, so that he's not.
No, this is Mr. Scheck's offer on foundation. He can do it however he sees fit.
Okay. That right there is Robert Kardashian. He's the one that's responsible for most of the Kardashians. And none of the Jenners. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, says Meatloaf. Yeah, that's Robert Kardashian.
Yeah, this is before the Kardashians were known, really. I mean, I feel like
This
the
is
Kardashians
almost before they were born. How old are they?
35, something like that.
Yeah, this is 28 years ago.
Well, Kim was 12, I think, and and the other ones were a little bit younger. But it's funny because I know they went on TV and nobody knew how to pronounce his name, so nobody knew who they were. I mean, this is what made Kardashian a household name, unfortunately, and it all went downhill from there.
Chloe is 38 years old.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
She was born in 1984, so she was 10 years old when her dad was on trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a fun fact. Well, it's not so fun fact, but OJ tried to delete himself in Kim Kardashian's bedroom when she was her childhood bedroom.
I did not know that.
Before the Bronco chase, at least as it was depicted in The People versus OJ Simpson, which I have read is very accurate. So yeah, with all of her teenage heartthrob posters on the walls and like then he ended up going into the Bronco, doing the whole thing with the AC. What's his name? Anyway.
Yes, and Kim
Fun fact.
Kardashian was born in 1980. She is 42 years old, so she
they're
was
older than I thought.
15. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's Robert Kardashian right there, and this appears to be the Reverend Jesse Jackson or a lookalike. I don't know. All right, let's go. It's Corey Hart saying, "Never surrender."
I'd like to show you a segment from the videotape. Let me just make sure the segment is queued up correctly.
Kim was just Paris Hilton's maid then. Ouch.
She did work for Paris Hilton. I think she was her
This is a
assistant
segment
or
from
something.
101.
All right, 101.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Stop a second, please. And Mr. Fung, I'd like you to note carefully the cars that you see as this tape proceeds. Okay.
Cars.
The cars that are parked on the sidewalk.
Zola
All
has
right.
terrible posture.
So
Wow.
first you saw a police car there, a black and white?
Yes.
Okay, let's proceed.
Oh.
All right, there's a black and white police car. There's an Asian and white police officers.
All right, let's stop. You see this second van there?
The one where the gentleman's
Yes.
coming out of? Yes.
Okay, let's proceed. Let's stop. You see this brown car there?
Definitely
Yes.
not an
Okay,
unmarked
let's
police
proceed.
car.
See that van there?
Yes.
That's not the white Ford Bronco, is it?
No, it is not.
Okay. All right, let's stop for a second. Now, from the car, you do not, in walking down that path, you did not see Mr. Simpson's white Ford Bronco, did you?
No.
All right. Let's proceed. Now listen carefully to the sound here, sir. Okay. Now, let's get rid of that last part. Did you hear yourself saying, okay, let's go back, make one last check? Or words to that effect?
Something like that, yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you another videotape that depicts these events that I think is more complete. So I'd like you to take a look at that. Okay.
Video locked and loaded. Hey.
1102. Okay. Okay, stop. Now you see again that black and white police car?
Yes.
And you see there's a space in front of it?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Another car, same car as before?
Yes. It's same guy. Same, definitely not a unmarked police car.
Concentrate if you can, sir, on that's you with paper bags in your, I guess it's your left hand?
Yes.
And that's, what's that in your right hand?
It looks like a box.
The evidence kit?
Do we do it? Do we do it? Do we do it? I can't control myself.
Now you recognize this to be up through this point
Good,
the same clip as we saw before.
I didn't play the what's in the box thing. I controlled myself. I'm
okay.
happy.
Now you see that walking back.
It loses its impact, I think, sometimes. It's a fun one.
I wanted to do it, but I withheld.
I love how I feel like bends over. He's like, get a great view of my butt.
Yeah.
Doing some yoga in the middle of the driveway there.
Oh yeah,
Again.
right there. Money shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
All this footage is just officers' asses. Gotta rate the asses, I think.
And while we're in some funging silence here, Brian Alleman said, all this talk about the white Broncos reminded me of the greatest Howard Stern prank call of all time. I see OJ, man, you looking scared.
Okay.
Wow. I do not know what you are referencing.
Me either.
Continue with that tape at this point.
And Brad says OJ was suicidal in Kardashian's house before his surrender.
Yep.
What was... Did he
back up to
say that he was that way, or did he just say he was trying to rub himself
after
out?
this, you'll see that there's a cut.
He
in the
was
tape.
waving a weapon around in front of
Okay,
Robert
wow.
Kardashian.
I see.
After he wrote the notes.
So he didn't just say, I'm in your daughter's room trying to
You can
rub
show 'em the
myself
tape,
out.
yes.
Something like that.
No, Kardashian came
Okay.
into the bedroom that he was like staying in the house, and he saw him there. He had a gun.
Take note of that car, sir. You see it?
Pleaded with him not to
The
do
gray car.
it.
Stop
left
right
in the
here
Bronco.
for a second. See that car?
Yes, we see the car.
This gray car here.
That gray car.
Yes.
Okay. Let's continue. All right. Okay.
Do you see the leaves?
Call your attention to a second. Would you agree, sir, that that gray car that we just observed was not parked in that location in the first segment that we just reviewed of you and Miss Mazzola going to the truck and then walking back in?
There was a police car and then a van in the first segment.
Right. There
The
was a
gray car
police
wasn't
car,
present.
a space. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And then, but that gray car was not in that first segment, right?
First segment that you showed me, yes.
Okay. Now I'd like to show you another view of.
Which dog is which?
Which dog is which?
Yeah, which one's Yoda and which one's Strawberry?
Strawberry's a brown one. Yoda's the dumb white one.
Oh, okay. I think Doggo Cam vastly improves
This is
OJ
11:03.
Thursdays.
I still object to showing us witness pictures of Ben Adder without any foundation and so on.
Okay. Now, let's stop for a second. Stop. Now, in that sequence, if you like, if you want, we can rewind it. You see Detective Van Adder, all right, getting out of that gray car, correct?
Yes.
And in his hands, he has a black duffel bag in one hand and what appears to be a clipboard in the other.
And maybe some other objects also, yes.
Yes. And you see that as we go through the shot, please pay attention to the black and white car. See that there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, stop it. Now, would you agree, sir, that that gray car that Detective Van Adder got out of is parked in front of that black and white police car?
Yes.
All right. And that gray car was not present in the first sequence I showed you of you and Miss Mazzola walking towards the van.
That's correct.
Okay. And then coming back and going back inside of Rockingham, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, sir, I'd like to show you another tape sequence.
Okay.
More tape?
More tape.
I'd like to show
Additional
you
tape?
this sequence. All right.
Even more additional tape.
Yes. Now, this sequence is you and Miss Mazzola leaving. Stop right here. Do you recognize who that gentleman is in the Panama hat?
That is Mr. Wilson. He's a
This counts towards his 8.5 days on
And
the
this
stand.
is you and Miss Mazzola now leaving the Rockingham location again.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yes, continue here. Continue here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, stop. All right, stay here.
This poor jury. They're just like hanging around a hotel room somewhere.
Stop. Reverse.
All the way back, please.
To the entrance here. Thank you.
Okay. I know. Hey, that goes. Okay. Get rid of that, Sean. Now, did you focused on yourself and Miss Mazzola leaving, and then there's, she has a trash bag in her hand, correct?
Vegas to which tape, Your Honor? First,
This cut right here.
Overall. She's got a bag, a plastic bag, yes.
Okay.
A large plastic bag.
All right. Now, I'd like to show you.
Your Honor, I make a much destructive answer because it's still not clear as to which of the two cuts in that tape. Tape number 1104.
Overruled.
I'm going to show you another sequence in this, and it's 1103, Your Honor.
All right. Is that Barbara Bush back there? Come on, guys. There you go.
Sequence. Just go back a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Freeze frame. Freeze frame.
Okay, let's run it. Now you see. Okay, stop for a second. Now that's you and Miss Mazzola again leaving Rockingham.
Yes.
And that's, I think you told us Mr. Wilson behind you.
Yes.
Okay. Stop. You see the black and white car?
Yes.
Let's move forward. Stop. You see the gray car?
Yes, I do.
Yes. All right. Now that would be Detective Van Adder's car that you saw in the previous shot?
I don't know if it's his car, but that was the one he was
Getting
out of.
All right, let's proceed. Okay. Now, looking at those videotapes,
Don't cry, Dennis.
testified that you, at some point in the afternoon on June 13th, left Rockingham, correct?
Yes.
Now, the segments that we saw depicting you and Miss Mazzola leaving Rockingham, all right, you recall the ones where you're carrying the black box and the paper bags in your left hand,
Yes.
and you then put them in the truck.
Yes.
All right. And then you say to her, let's go back for a last check.
Yes.
All right. And then we see you go back in, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then we have a second set of shots that you saw, 2 clips of you leaving Rockingham again, correct?
Yes.
All right. And this time, Miss Mazzola has that plastic bag in her hand,
Yes.
and you're not carrying any bags in your hand.
That's correct.
All right. And then you walk past towards your truck again.
Right.
All right. Now, in terms of sequence, sir, the first time that you walked out carrying the bags in your hand, all right, that was, that happened before the second time, didn't it?
It appears so, yes.
Which is cause for speculation, this witness's interpretation of legal.
Oh.
Go better than anyone else's.
Now, Your Honor, I think that that lays the foundation, and we'd like to show it to the jury.
Well, no, I think Mr. Goldberg's entitled a little cross-examination or redirect as to, actually cross-examination as to this issue of
All
foundation.
right, well, then maybe
Just a little cross as a treat.
I have more questions I'd like to ask right now.
All right.
And in that second tape, you saw the gray car had pulled up, correct? You saw the gray car that you saw Detective Van Adder get out of. The second, there were 2 tapes you saw of you leaving Rockingham. You've now told us a second time, correct?
Yes.
Could you repeat that one?
Sure.
No.
Remember the tapes where you and Miss Mazzola are walking down the driveway and Mr. Wilson is behind you?
Yes.
All right. Now that is that happened second, correct?
That's the second tape you showed me.
Yes. That's the second time that's in terms of leaving Rockingham, okay? I think you just told us that happened after the first trip, correct?
That appears to be the second time.
Yes. Now, do you recall how much time passed between the first and second trip?
No, I do not.
What's in the plastic bag?
What's in the plastic bag? I can't help it.
That's my recollection.
Who's in the box?
Because I envy your
envelope containing the.
It seems that envy is my sin.
No, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box? Give me the gun.
I couldn't help it. The power of Christ compelled me.
Blood vials and
It's a classic.
Is in the plastic bag that Miss Mazzola is carrying?
yes.
Look at your dogs. Oh my gosh. They're so cute. Hi. I wish I could pet them.
Hey, guys.
We bring the jury.
Mr. Goldberg, you have any questions?
They're just cheesing for the camera. It's their big moment.
This is a visibly agitated Ito, who's just had the last 2 hours of his life wasted because Goldberg has nothing to say.
Oh God.
I'd like to replay 11:04 for the witness to ask him some questions about that. The segments, 2 segments.
I need more tea. 1 second.
etc., etc., etc. The plastic bag is full of American Beauty. Nice. That was good. That
Poetic.
Would we be with the jury at this point?
I'm contemplating going till 6 tonight.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm contemplating going until 6 tonight.
Well, I guess my question is, how long will I have to explore this line with the witness, given that it's 5 to 12?
Well, no, Mr. Goldberg just asked the permission of the court to ask some questions of Mr. Fung, and has asked Mr. Harris to queue up 11:04 because he'd like to view that again. So I suspect we're going to break for lunch. We're going to come back at 1:30, but I think we're going to go until 6 today. Let's see 11:04.
You mean became billionaires?
Can we see that one more time? The clip.
Mr. Harris, can we see it from the doorway, please?
Mr. Fung, can you look very carefully in Miss Mazzola's hands to see whether you can see an object in her hands?
Wait, what happened to the
Carrying
dogs?
An object.
Oh, I don't
we
know.
can back up and take another look at that.
Yeah.
Now let's back up again. Sorry, Your Honor, can we see that at another time?
Sure.
From the door?
Sure. Who's got control, Mr. Fairlow? Sorry, Mr. Harris.
There.
Can we back up a minute, please, on the frame that shows that she has her hands?
Sure.
Right there.
Right there.
Never mind. Forget it then. Stay there.
Right there.
Mr. Fung, do you have an independent recollection of what the item is in Ms. Mazzola's hands? When I say independent, I'm talking about not from viewing this tape, but from what you remember.
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you have any independent recollection as to whether this footage, maybe we can continue on to the next.
What's your point here, dude? And why are you looking like a snake?
Is this the footage that we just saw, the first part of the footage on 11:04, a continuous series of events?
Unfortunate series.
With the footage that you saw in the second half of 11:04, to your independent recollection?
No, I can't say that it is continuous.
You don't know from your independent recollection?
I don't know.
Were you present when Mr. Van Adder arrived in his car, gray car?
I don't recall him arriving at the Rockingham scene, no.
You did not see that?
No.
In the afternoon, where was the first time that you saw Detective Van Adder?
I was inside the Rockingham residence.
Do you have any independent, do you have any ability other than what you saw in the videotape to determine whether or not the gray car came and left before you walked out to the van with the brown paper bags or after?
This is the first time I noticed the gray car.
But what I'm saying to you is do you have any capacity to testify from your independent recollection and your own observations on the 13th, which of those two items happened first?
No.
And based upon your own independent recollections, then, can you tell us the sequence, not from what you saw in the videotape, but based upon your recollections and your observations on the 13th, Can you tell us the sequence of the following three events? Detective Van Adder arriving, Andrea Mazzola and yourself leaving with Andrea Mazzola carrying an item that appears to be a trash bag, and you arriving with Andrea Mazzola at the crime scene truck with a number of brown paper bags.
I couldn't put those in order, no, through independent recollection.
It's not great.
Is there anything about viewing the videotape that refreshes
makes you
your
want to delete
recollection
yourself?
or allows you to put into sequence these events?
Can a hole just open up in the floor so that I can sink into it, please? Thank you.
Not really, no.
Mr. Scheck? Do you have any further questions for Mr. Fung?
Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Mr. Goldberg, were you finished?
Yes. Mr. Fung, do you have an independent recollection of how many times in the afternoon you went out to the crime scene truck with brown paper bags?
No, I do not recollect how many times.
Did you notice in terms of those two sequences of you leaving Rockingham, okay? In the first sequence, you go back with Miss Mazzola and you pick up some evidence cards from the ground, right?
Yes.
And when you came at the second time, those evidence cards were not on the ground.
I didn't notice.
You want to look? This segment, you and Miss Mazzola coming at the driveway. Go ahead. Go ahead. Stop.
Oh,
Now,
look
you
at
don't
this
see
fine
those
young Mormon
evidence cards on the
missionary.
ground the second time, right?
No.
Okay, let's move forward. Okay, stop. So wouldn't you agree, Mr. Fung, that that's the second, that sequence of you leaving the second is happened after the first sequence when you went to the truck, deposited the police in the bags, then walked back in and picked up the evidence cards?
Well, Your Honor, it's vague as to which sequence he's talking about.
Do you understand what I asked you?
We have the paper bag trip and we have the plastic bag trip.
All right. This plastic bag trip happened second, didn't it?
It appears to be yes.
Thank you.
All right, we'll stand in recess 1:30.
Your Honor, are we going to be able to do this when we come back?
Yeah,
Over
make
the
your
lunch
ruling.
hour, I want you to leave the tapes here. I'm going to look at them one more time.
Okay. And Your Honor, could we have an admonition?
Yes. Mr. Fung, don't discuss the matter with any of the attorneys, please.
Your Honor,
Start.
for Mr. Scheck's information, Mr. Neufels, Ms. Mazzola is upstairs, but she is not feeling well. She is under a doctor's care, and we intend to send her home at this point.
I don't think we're going to finish today.
I don't think you're going to finish today.
All right.
It's going for the next week.
But, counsel, we're going to go till 6. Make preparations to go to 6 today. All right, we're in recess.
Whoo! There we go. This whole day was no jury. Whew. We finally get the jury back next week. You guys suffered through one of the more boring parts of the 8.5 days of Fung on the stand, but it's important for context for what's coming up next week. All this comes together, all this stuff that they were talking about. Whew. You survived, Chandler. You didn't fall back asleep. That's good.
I did not. I am awake. And I got to look at cute dogs, and you guys all got to enjoy our lovely faces. So, no complaints.
Yoda looks like the Grinch from the side. He's very Grinchy from the side.
I can see that. I think they're
Just looks
very
dumb
handsome.
from the front.
They're very handsome. Wait, are they both male, or I don't want to assume their gender.
Yoda is a boy, and Strawberry's a girl.
And is Strawberry, do you call Strawberry Strawberry, or do you refer to Strawberry by the Korean word for strawberry?
Yeah. Dargi in Korean is strawberries.
Mm.
I call her Dargi. Try not to say it loud enough to wake her up.
They look very cozy. I
doesn't
love
look
how
like-
they're cuddling.
Doesn't Yoda look like the Grinch from the side, like the Grinch's face?
Oh yeah, I can kind of see the scowl.
It's kind of like the jowl kind of thing.
Well, is Yoda a mean one or is Yoda a nice boy?
Yoda's just dumb. He's a special dog.
It's a dumb white boy.
If the dogs went to school, Yoda would be on the short bus. There's no question about that.
I had a cat like that once. She ate stickers and drooled. She was very cute though.
They literally look paused.
They're just like zoned out. They're like, this trial is so boring. Dad, turn it off.
I don't think this is boring at all.
I don't think it's boring, but
fun.
they might not understand the legal nuances.
Yeah.
I love when they were facing the screen, like it looked like they were watching intently, which was really cute. Doggo cam adds a lot to the trial watch circumstance. If you get bored, just look at the cute dogs.
Yeah. Certainly nobody's paying attention to me, but
Or me.
I finally joined the YouTube Unsubbed Me Club, WTF YouTube. Yeah, so
Yeah.
please, again, I guess that's time for the end of the stream grift here. Chandler, why don't you take the grift here first?
Okay, sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Chandler Remington, and most of you probably know me by now. But if you don't, I am a paralegal in California, and I talk about men's issues. I just started a YouTube channel, and I'm about to put out a video tomorrow called "Why I'm Not a Feminist Anymore." So check that out. That should be up before Fuck It Friday. I'm excited for that, or Intercourse It Friday, as Travis like aptly named it.
Well, it's after 2 hours. It's Fuck It Friday now.
Yeah, it's Fuck It Friday.
You can't say the F word. You can't say the F word in the thumbnails or descriptions anymore.
That makes me mad. No censorship. I want to be able to speak freely, but yeah, no, I'm here every Thursday, and happy to be here. So go subscribe to my channel. I'm Chandler Remington, Remy_legal. New content coming very soon. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some streams up and running by next week.
Definitely make sure you go and subscribe and like every single video she's done this far.
Which is one. It's like one in.
So it won't take you so long, so there's no excuse for it.
I do have a playlist of all of my stream appearances, which is nearing, I believe, about 50 by now. So
Wow.
if you want to see more of who I am and what I do and what I'm like, you can go and watch those if you want to check me out before you subscribe.
Everybody wants to check out Chandler.
Oh, that's flattering.
Yeah, and also again, follow her on Twitter. Same.
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Remy_legal.
Same, as they say over here. Yeah, and me, like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Apparently, 6 of you have unsubscribed since we started this stream.
But that's just rude.
Yeah, burn in hell, every one of you.
You don't need them. If anybody doesn't want to be here, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Bye-bye.
Well,
Good riddance.
that always kind of happens when you follow a trial. You get a lot of subscribers during the trial, and then after the trial's over, everybody's like, okay, I don't really care about this schmo anymore, and then they unsubscribe. So it's kind of this little wave that goes.
Well, I think they're
but
missing
hey,
out because you put out amazing content. You have a variety of really excellent shows. You do Maritime Monday. You have great topics, and you're versatile, and you're really, you're smart and funny. So, I don't understand why anybody would unsubscribe from you. But hey, anybody
I'm
out there who's
assuming
watching,
they did.
you guys
Because-
have to all subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now. I'm telling you, I'm making you do it.
And I'm assuming that there was unsubscriptions, but again, there is so many of them happen. It's unusual for 6 to happen over the space of a couple of hours. They just kind of drop off one every few hours when they're dropping off. But we've had people that were unsubscribed, and it happens. It happens a lot. As I mentioned before, it's just a YouTube thing. You reach some certain benchmark, and they decide you don't deserve that many, and they just delete some. And it happened right where it happened last time. We got to 36,000, then we got to 26, and then it went down to about 3590 something.
Well, I think you should get to 50,000 soon.
No, but seriously, and then it got up again to 3625 today, and now it's starting to go back down again. So you get to these weird little benchmarks, and YouTube just goes, "Yeah, let's make him work for it."
Yeah.
And there was a point where Hayden was stuck at about 8,000 subscribers for almost 3 months.
Huh. Yeah,
It's
you
just a
plateau
weird thing,
sometimes,
yeah.
I'm sure. but it's like if you watch the numbers, it's like watching, water boil. Basically, it's like it can drive you crazy. It's good to try to ignore that if you can, but then it's like you want to do these benchmarks of like celebrating with awesome streams of like I hit this many subscribers, so you can't not look at it, of course.
So that's kind of us. Like, how did our poll end up? Our poll ended up today. Currently, there's 265 of you still hanging in. We're going to wrap this up in about the next 5 minutes. So stick with us right here to the end and make sure you've liked and subscribed to everything. It says we've got 11 new members. Did I miss somebody? All right, I got to go back through here and see who we missed. What's going on here? Wild Red at the very beginning. Wow. We'd say these member chats that come up, I don't see those. They don't come up on, I have to be looking directly at the chat to see those, but they are kept here in the log. So I go back later and I can see them in the log here. Wild Red 1905. I'm assuming you're still not here after 3 hours, but if you are, here it is. He's been a member of the Ben Halos and Broken Wings level for 3 months. Wow. I still have this thing. He said, yes, you still do. And I'm grateful for it. 11s are we got 11s being our new member. It was Chaos Coordinator. Chaos Coordinator gifted 10 Legal Vices memberships. Thank you so much, Chaos Coordinator.
That's so nice.
That is deeply, deeply appreciated. And if you were one of the lucky ones, I hope you said thank you to Chaos Coordinator. All right, coming up, when's the next video, Chandler?
Tomorrow.
That's quick enough.
Yep.
Tomorrow, Chandler's got a video. Check it out. Is it live or is it a produced video?
It's going to be published, so it's not live.
Awesome.
But I'm going to be doing some live stuff next week. I have some stuff in the works, so I'm getting on it. I had a little delay because I've been studying for the LSAT, and that's been taking up a lot of my time.
That's
but
important.
I'm juggling everything, and so I'm figuring out how to make room for YouTube. So for everybody who's been patient, I will be putting out content tomorrow. So look forward to that. I hope you like it.
And for me, it's just, it's that time again. It's that time of the month where I get drunk. It's Fuck It Friday coming up, starting 8 p.m. Friday evening Eastern time, which is 9 a.m. Saturday, my time, which means it is 1 a.m. your UK time. And it is 10 a.m. in Canberra, Australia. So yeah, be there for that. Be there for the F It Friday. The list, in case you want to know who has confirmed that they're coming, we'll go over that once again real quick.
It's a great list. Awesome people.
It is.
Very good looking.
So far.
Very funny, very smart.
So far, who we have is our very own Chandler Halderson.
Chandler Halderson. I'm never going to get away from that.
She's a killer guest.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
She's a real cut up, if you know what I mean.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'll be around. It'll be 5 p.m. my time, but I'm going to come in a little later. So I'll see you.
Yeah, so we will have our very own Chandler Remington. We'll have Steph the Alter Nerd, Danny on Direct, Valhalla awaits. Drex is going to make an appearance. Our very own Flux is going to be here. Ari Jacob. Our very own Nicholas Starov is going to be here. Camelot's going to be here. And then I will be on Camelot's Camelcast on Saturday evening U.S. time. Fight Milk should happen. Potentially Criminal Sean will be on. Ian Runkle of the Bailey will be here. Natalie Wisco said she's going to pop in. Meme Copium from Japan. The Legal Mindset, Andrew. Kaiser Pineapple. And Andrew Branca is a definite maybe. Megan Fox is a definite maybe, and still have yet to hear back on what Nick's schedule is. Those are where we sit so far. More to come. Usually people kind of trickle in as the show goes on, and I lose the ability to say no to people. So that's what it's going to be. We're going to be celebrating 36,000 subscribers. That's the nominal reason why we're doing this. We're just doing it because it's fucking Friday, but we have to give it a reason. So it'll be 36,000 subscribers. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be celebrating that with our usual shots, guests, grifting for money throughout the entire thing, so we don't have to do it the rest of the month. And the Brandon Collective has already front-loaded half of a shot, so the dog cam is an automatic starter. And just in case you're wondering, Yoda is just being like really super sleepy there. Just like, his
I
little head
love the
propped
look.
up there. Yeah, he's out cold. Wait, all right, there we go. So that's what's going to be happening Friday. Monday will be Maritime Monday again. I haven't decided what I'm going to talk about. We've got some cool things coming up within the next several weeks for Maritime Monday, so you don't want to miss that. Tuesday, Wednesday, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about yet. Thursday is OJ Simpson. That takes us through the next week. All right, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm really just excited for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it is going to be fun.
I got my tequila. I got to get some.
Ooh.
I will be taking shots, but I also want to get some mixers, just to kind of pace myself throughout the evening. The Brandon Collective has suggested that I eat nothing and get super drunk. So we will see how that goes. But I think I'm going to have a snack. I'm going to try. I'm going to be prepared. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Charcuterie lined up. Going to get some my sourdough baguettes are going to be delivered to the office tomorrow.
Lovely.
I got some.
I think
bunch of different
an Italian
cheese.
sandwich is on my mind. I think I might go that route.
Well, that's actually the bakery where I'm getting the sourdough bread from. Is that whenever I order the bread from them, I also order this amazing bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich that got into my. It's just fantastic. So yeah, we'll do that. Got the bread, got a bunch of different kinds of cheese, got some dried meats, and it's quite awesome. Some smoked duck.
Ooh, that sounds
chicken,
delicious.
some summer sausage and salamis, and
you know your way around charcuterie. That sounds. I want to see a picture of your whole your spread. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, what do we have? We have Emmental, some aged Gouda, some pepper jack because I love pepper jack cheese.
I love charcuterie. I love
I
always do olives. I'm a big olive fan.
Yeah, I don't have any olives. It was just kind of sad because I was like looking. I make the martini, then I look for the olive and I go, crap, and then I spilled it. So
You could always do a Gibson if you have pickled onions around, or is it rotten? I remember.
it's the pickled onions. But anywho, that's what's coming up. All right, mods, thank you so much for being here. You guys are great. Love to always have you here. You're always the good ones.
Love the mods.
And Corn Pope, always good to see you here. You know what, Corn Pope? You're pretty darn cool. I'm feeling generous. So congratulations for being our newest mod. Why not?
Awesome.
Corn Pope is now a mod. Corn Pope is all wrenched up with no place to go.
Well, Corn Pope is always here, so I think it's a fabulous choice.
Yeah. There we go. And so mods, thank you so much. Thank you so much, chat, the best chat on the internet. The Vice Squad rocks. Thank you to all of you who were very, very generous with the super chats, getting Doggo Cam active and supporting the channel. You're great. All of you, take care of yourselves. We'll see you at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. There will be no Friday morning show tomorrow. I'll be doing my pre-game stuff. So
looking forward to it very much. It'll be a lot of fun.
All righty. Well, everyone take care. Have a great night. The booze must flow. Well, and that's it. I'm out. Lorax is out. Chandler, not Halderson, Remington is out. And the dogs are just out cold.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.